What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Carlotta Chat with Show. Okay, you guys, I know it's been a minute. Listen, I got a lot going on. So yeah, it's been a crazy summer. I mean, it's spring still, but almost summer. It's been kind of like wild. I've been trying. I'm been like doing a lot of cleaning out of stuff, spring clean, trying to prepare my paper for next year. I've just been busy. I've just been crazy. Okay, but I mean, everything is moving so fast for me. I'm like, God, the time is just really. It's like it feels like time is just always speeding up. And before I look around, it's I'm like, I don't know if I have enough hours in a day. Always something going on, okay? But I hope you guys are doing okay. I wanted to get on and talk to you about a few hot topics and stuff like that. Just touch bases with y'all. Tell y'all what I've been doing. Okay, so Raising Canaan started back. How do I feel about Raising Canaan? Okay, spoiler alert if you're about to listen. Spoiler if you have not seen the first episode of Raising Canaan, it's a spoiler alert right now, okay? Listen, they didn't have to kill Uncle Lulu. I was like, we knew, but we kind of knew, right? We kind of knew Uncle Lulu was gonna get it. I knew something was gonna happen. I knew Rock wasn't gonna get it, okay? And listen, I'm tired of y'all saying that 50 Cent and the writers, let me just say this, the writers over there at Raising Canaan, y'all been really good thus far. Don't be dumb and try to avoid that statement that Canaan made in Power, which is he was not talking about he was going to the graveyard. He wasn't talking about none of that. There is a certain way people talk when they going to visit their relatives at the grave. They don't be talking about, yeah, they with a big smile on their face. Yeah, I just got to visit mom. They don't do that. That tells us, if these writers are worth their salt, that tells us the Rock is still alive and current Power universe. Okay, now my only thing is later on in the series when Kanan gets killed, they say he had no surviving relatives that they know of. People don't think maybe here's the thing, maybe Rock and Kanan are in touch but not in touch. Because they had a kind of strange dynamic family because or maybe Rock had passed away or something happened to Rock at that moment. Okay. But we know when Kanan shows up in Power, Rock is still alive because he says, and it's not y'all be trying to interject stuff talking about that mean maybe he meant he was going to the cemetery. No, that's not how people write. People don't write that. That's not how writers write. Writers do not write. They like we don't we would put some hint there. It's not about him. He said that very casually, very, he didn't say, yeah, I'm gonna go down to the cemetery and see moms, put some flowers on mom's grave. Don't nobody say I'm going to I just got to see mom. I just got over there from the cemetery, view mom's grave. Don't nobody, that's how people say that. People do not say happily, yeah, I just got to visit mom. I came straight from the thing and visited mom. So it tells me Rock is either in jail. Rock was at the time of Power, the Power universe started. Rock was in jail. Rock was in something was going on, and sometimes writers can get off. Like so, say for instance, a few episodes down into Power, they put no surviving relatives, but forgot Kanan said about seeing his mom. Writers can do that too. Okay, or I find it. I can't believe they wouldn't have Rock crossover into Origins because what's her Patima? What's her name? Patricia. I forget her name. The lady who plays Rock. She is such a fabulous actress. She is so good. I just can't imagine her not crossing herself over into to the Origins and Uncle Marvin either. Those two characters, I just cannot see. I cannot see y'all not bringing them over just for a minute, even if it's just for a second. I find that fascinating. I mean, the Breeze story continue. Rock having a distant kind of situation there. I don't know. But I know y'all can't ignore that Rock being, because that's the first thing I thought when I first started watching Raising Kanan. I knew, I said the two people going to live is Kanan, and through the series is Kanan and Rock, because I remembered when he said that in the series of Power, that she was, I just went to see moms. So I was like, you can't, writers, you can't go back on that. I think that's crazy if you do. Okay, who's his mom? Who's he going to see? Okay. Uh, but what I find interesting about Raising Kanan, I don't know how I feel yet about. Let me just say this about the actors on Raising Kanan, and to the Emmy Awards, and why you suck. You have to start. Black people, we don't just naturally play these roles. Everybody ain't drug dealers and stuff like that. Y'all think, my personal opinion is that these award shows sometimes don't nominate great Black shows because it's like, oh, they just play that. No, we don't. Everybody in the Black community ain't selling. These are great actors. I mean, Miss Miller's wonderful. Patima, I think it's Patima Miller. She's excellent. Has rocked. The young man who plays Kanan. Oh, I mean, excellent. This whole cast, the girl who plays Jukebox, oh, Lou and Marvin, superb. This is a whole cast of great actors. And why they're not being recognized and nominated is wow, by the Golden Globes and the Funky Emmys. What the heck? Even Funky Golden Globes, I'll say that too, because I think they nominate TV shows. What is going on? Why are y'all ignoring the Power Universe? That is crazy. And Raising Kanan really shouldn't be ignored, because Raising Kanan is superb. Not only so is it superb writing and directing, but it is a superb story. It is a real deep, gritty story about a tortured Black family growing through the 80s and the 90s, and the sins of the mother and the sins of the father visiting the children, and how these kids have become dysfunctional. How life, because I knew a lot of people like this in the 80s. That shit was real. I knew a lot of people like that. And in the drug game and in the drug trade and stuff like that. Raising Kanan is a very well written show, probably the most well written one of the Power universes. And it really speaks to the dysfunction of a family. And during those times in the 80s and 90s, a lot of Black American families, the drug trade was killing our young men. So it wouldn't, this kind of violence, unlike somebody's outside beating on something. I hope y'all don't hear it. But unlike Snow, yeah, they're gonna beat on it. They're gonna get louder. But unlike Snowfall, which I think they took a little bit off of Ricky Ross's story, but they definitely did, in my personal opinion. But unlike Snowfall seemed like he seemed more like a serial killer. It seemed kind of weird. It was just kind of kind of wild. It was certain elements that seemed real to the 80s, but a lot of it seemed like really over the top. Some of it, not Raising Kanan. Raising Kanan is not, it's certain things, certain elements, certain parts maybe just a little bit, but not much. Very good storytelling. I don't know why these people are not getting nominated for awards. It is one of the best casts on television. I mean, serious. What they went and did for Raising Kanan, they went and got the classic actors. Like, I can't say this about the other part. I mean, the other parts of the Power universe have great actors too. But because we know Lorenz Tate's a bomb and all that. But I'm talking about, these are all the whole cast. Everybody is really good. So yeah, I don't know what's the deal here. It annoys me that they don't get nominated, especially Patina Miller. Oh my God, she is, and she's done stuff on Broadway, everything. Just an awesome actress. Yeah, so I'm not getting that. But yeah. So me watching the first episode of Raising Kanan, how I feel about it. I, I mean, I think I was ready for Uncle. I knew Uncle Lulu was gonna die. I don't want you to kill Marvin. I rather more. I feel like they're gonna take Marvin to jail. Even though I love me some Marvin, I feel like Marvin is going to jail. I feel like Marvin is going to end up in the slammer. I feel, because I want that little girl to hold tight. What I would love for Marvin, see, because some people do make it out. I don't want everything to be tragic. What I would love is to see Marvin get away, like go away and just get away from everything. Okay. And go have a different life. But Marvin's done so much dirt and grit. I don't know. Okay. I think jail will catch up to him because I think these stories. I think Raising Canaan likes to tell a story. I think it doesn't like its gangsters to the Power Universe period doesn't gangsters do not have a great ending. Air Power Universe, even Ghost, the great who y'all think is the greatest gangster, I thought was the dumbest gangster, but Ghost even ended his ass falling up off a roof, getting killed by a son. Okay, so the Power Universe is not friendly to the gangster lifestyle. You don't get to ride away like in what's the Queen of the South and all that. I forget what it was. You don't get to ride away into the sunset usually. It's or if you do, it's going to be severe damage. That's how. And the Power Universe, when you see race, what I love about it is looking at Kanan in his young years. I see how he became Kanan. But I also see how he grabbed a heart for Tyreek because Tyreek is similar to Kanan. Even though Kanan grew up in the streets in the hood at first, but Rock always had money. Rock was like what they call ghetto fat. So Rock always had the coins, the means, the lifestyle and stuff like that. So Kanan, when I see Kanan and Tyreek, I get why Kanan killed Jukebox. And he did it, and it's sad because once you see how like the Raising Kanan story and you see how close him and Jukebox were, you're like, damn, why did but I understand the relationship why he would save Tyreek because he feels like Tyreek is a reflection of himself. Tyreek is everything he could have become. Like Tyreek is everything if his mama was more like a Tasha. Rock was always trying to fight against the tide of Kanan being a criminal. She always wanted him, even though she was a hardcore criminal, Rock felt she didn't want none of that to fall on him, but it did. Rock was not aware of that understanding that her sins was going to just fall on Kanan. So even though she was trying to fight against it, where he meets Tyreek is a kid that has a sim that has a sip that has similarities to Kanan. His parents are drug dealers. His even though Ghost is a more fabulous type of drug dealer, he's out of the ghetto. He doesn't have to operate in the ghetto because unlike Rock had to operate in the ghetto in the 80s, but Kanan still was a kid who was probably better off than most of the kids around him, right? Because his mom was dealing. So in some ways, Kanan relates to a Tyreek. And so I see why Kanan saves his life over Jukebox. I get it. I get it. And then you see, because as you see this family fall apart and Raising Kanan, his original family, you start to understand. You should start to get it. You start to say, hey, just superb writing. I just thought I think the writers of Raising Kanan have done an awesome job with the script. Yeah, and you start to see why this guy goes on to manipulate Tyreek, but also has a heart for Tyreek because the original Kanan, who the kid Kanan we see was not a monster always, like he is in Power. And in the end, he wasn't a monster, but Tyreek was the bigger monster. Tyreek was a monster. You know, because Tasha told Tyreek to kill that, set him up, and he did. And Tyreek is crazy like that, but Tyreek is still every bit of them. So it's just an interesting story. Yeah. That's how I'm processing Raising Kanan right now. I'm processing it in light of Power and seeing why he was so ruthless in Power, and I understood why he killed his son in Power. Okay. Which I don't know. I wonder who the son is by because the girl who he's had the kid by. I mean, I guess we're going to see that in Origins, but uh, we see why. I mean, I think we see. I understood why he killed his son now, even though, they got this kind of parent thing, parent kill parent, or parent kill kid kill parent in power. They got this thing. And I think there's a reason Courtney does that. I think that's psychological. It's a lot of things, because I think mentally they're destroying their kids' lives anyway. And she's bringing it out in in a way that's she's bringing that energy manifesting in the physical, right? So I think that's what Courtney does with power. Not only do you destroy your child's life, but you could physically kill them, or they physically come back at you, something like that, because it's ruthless. It's a ruthless business. Now, so seeing all that in light, I can't wait to see Origins. I'm excited about Origins. I'm excited that Power Universe is coming back with Tommy and Tyreek. That's going to be interesting to see in light of all of that. I hope they carry Rock over find some way to carry Fatima Miller over into Origins. I think it would make it that much more interesting. I don't like the fact that I want Tommy and Ghost to know Rock. That's what I hated about. Listen, this is what I hated about Power, that Mary J and them were not aware of James St. Patrick, even though he was the most powerful drug dealer in New York. That's crazy to me, because they were in the drug trade. So I didn't like that writing. So I don't want them to ignore in Origins Rock. So I feel like Rock has to cross over into Origins in some way. Maybe not be there all the time, but make special appearances or something. I really want to see Rock's interaction in that space. Now, I'm also thinking Rock could go, cray cray, because Rock is a soul. She's crazy. Rock is crazy, but eventually Rock gonna break. So Rock might be in the crazy house or anything. That's why I was thinking that could happen too. Rock might end up in some sort of situation where she loses her mind or something like that. Still all interesting. Okay. Yeah, so that's how I feel about Raising Kanan, and I'm excited about the upcoming episodes to see where we're gonna go. Even though I kind of get this feeling, I know I'm kind of seeing. I think I know where this is gonna go, because it's preparing us for Origins. And the thing about this is we already have some backdrop on these characters and things like that, because we've seen some of them in Power. So very interesting. All right, so my next one that I've been watching, oh my goodness, have y'all been seeing From? Okay, MGM has this. It's on MGM. It is so good. The guy who plays in The Best Man, who's the dark guy with the dreads. I forget his name, Harold something. I forget his last name, but he's the star of this show. Oh my goodness, I've said this time and time again. If y'all have not seen From is one of the best shows on TV right now. Okay. From is about these people, and I know there have been shows done like this before. I remember people were telling, I've seen it. What's his name? What's his name? Light Eyes. He was in The Best Man also. I forget his name. I don't know why his name is Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard was in a show similar to Harold, where Terrence Howard played the sheriff in this town, and you couldn't get out of this town. And at night, it was some creatures in the woods or something. But they couldn't go. They could only go so far. They couldn't go out, or the creatures would meet them. Okay, but and we really never got to see we only got to see a couple of years of that and how that played out. Would come to find out with somebody controlling the town or something like that. But From is way different. From has a little bit of the same concept, but From is these people roll into this town and they can't get out. The town only goes so far, but you can't get out the town, and you can't go out at night. You know where they say the freaks come out at night? The monsters come out at night in From, okay? And the monsters mean something psychologically. People who die in Fromville, their nightmares end up becoming a part of this place. It's just so good. When I say it's not just a regular horror flick. It is like, I love a thinking horror flick. It is really smart, well done, well written. It is really good. Every time I watch it, I go back and watch the other ones again because I'm like, there's something I missed because there's always clues to how this town becomes this town and these people roll into this town and there's so many interesting characters in it. But just imagine you're going on a trip with your family and suddenly you see a tree in the middle of the road and you get out and you're like, okay, let me go back. And then you keep going in a loop and a loop and a loop and you can't get out. This is from, okay? And then people are out there to meet you and tell you, hey, wait a minute, you can't stay out here at night. And you like, what? Because there's monsters in the town. You like, what? You think they crazy, right? You probably get eaten by the monster. This is such a good, when I tell you it's a good show, I know it sounds crazy, but it is so good and it's the figuring out of what these people are and how they survive this town. Not only physically, but mentally. Oh, it's so good. I love From, okay? I'm loving it. I'm loving this season. I'm hating that we're coming too close to the end of the season, just like I hated we were coming to the end of Testaments, but Testaments did not disappoint, baby. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, but yes, yes, I love it. Love From. If you have not seen From, take yourself and see some From, okay? It's so good. It's worth it to go watch it, okay? But you got to pay attention every season. This is a thinking horror flick show. This is not a horror flick that you can just watch and be like, eh. No, it's thinking. Everything they say has some meaning, okay? Everything, okay? Even the beginning when the guy is singing, when I was just a little boy, I asked my father, what will I be? Will I be handsome? Will I be rich? Here's what he said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. It's such a creepy song. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. I love this song. God, I'm a Scorpio. It's so good, and my other Scorpio friend loves it too. We like, is it because we're Scorpios? It's so good. The song, even the song at the beginning, and the pictures they show, everything has meaning. Okay, so this is not just a horror show. It's like watching a horror Westworld. Even though Westworld got by the third year of Westworld, the whole concept went out the fucking window. The third year of Westworld, I was like, what the hell's going on here? Even though I hated they canceled it. But I loved Westworld, but they were going off the concept. They started going off the beaten path. By the third year, they didn't know what the hell to do. It was just they made a whole virtual world. It got crazy, okay? But I understand why Westworld it was costing them a lot of money and they was getting all off, okay? Even though the actors and that was superb too. But to me, that's what From is. From is a horror Westworld. It doesn't have the Westworld concept, but it's a thinking show like Westworld was. You have to think to watch it. you can't, and you might have to go back and watch some episodes. Like if you like clues and stuff, like that's what From is. From is not just a plain horror flick. It really has some deeper meanings and stuff to it. Okay. So yeah. All right. And so I was talking about the Testaments. Oh my God. Okay. I'm just going to say the end of the Testaments. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Baby, the Testaments does not disappoint. Does not disappoint. So good. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You go to Hulu. I'm not gonna even give no spoilers to the Testament, but it just shows like what I mean. I actually think most people should watch this show. I even told my religious people that I know, people who I know in church. I say every church should watch this show because you don't want to get this way. Nobody wants to become this way. This is religion without love, and that could be any religion, not just one. We already have places like in the world that women cannot fully um, be progressive, authentic. And we have people who think like that in this world. So it's not that it can't happen. Like things like Handmaid's Tale and Testaments can't happen. And that's why I think it's so important to watch about how absolute power can corrupt. When you have anybody has absolute power, religious men, non-religious, anybody, the world is supposed to be made up of different ideas and different concepts. I don't think nobody can run the world but God. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a very where it's fair and balanced. Okay. And that's why we don't, because us humans are not capable of it. But it's just very good, very good. Okay. So it's well worth your watch. If you haven't seen, you can't, to me, my personal opinion though, is you have to watch Handmaid's Tale first. If you have not seen Handmaid's Tale, you might not understand Testaments. Okay. But definitely please watch Handmaid's Tale and then Testaments. Okay. That gives you plenty of watching. All right. So the next thing that's coming out is our dragons back. Our dragons are coming back. What is it? Dragon. I forget the name of it because they be gone so long. The House of Dragons. They be gone. They've been gone like 2 years. Shit. I get irritated with them. Now I have to go back and watch like the last 3 or 4 episodes because I forgot what the hell happened. Because it came on 2 years ago, because they got elaborate sets. They like Game of Thrones. They got elaborate ass sets. So it take their asses 2 years to film all this and come back. So I'm hoping we got a long ass season because y'all be doing 10 seasons. It just make me mad about the House of Dragon. I'm excited to see it, but I'm like, it's been 2 years. I got to go back and see what y'all talking about. I forgot what happened. Then you got after House of Dragon, you got coming back. What is it? Silo. If you guys watch the Silo for Apple TV, very good. Silo is very good. Commons in it. Stars in it. Oh, it's such a good one. It is really good. It's one of those end of the world. The world is changed. The end of the world has come. These people are living underground in silos that was created for the end of the world, but for some reason they don't want them to come out into the real world yet. For some reason, there's people have only went so far, but one lady has made it out there. So it's interesting. The Silo is a very interesting show, and I'm hoping that this year, because it's one of those shows that like to take a long break too, because it costs probably a lot to make, and they got a lot of elaborate shit going on. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully we see, but it doesn't take as long as Dragon. House of Dragon is really crazy. Like when we get through with House of Dragon, and what makes me mad about HBO with House of Dragon, they like to like hold their stuff. I'm just like release the whole season. You know what I'm saying? But but because you take too long to do it. I mean, it's just you take too long. But I understand why it takes so long. So when you see the House of Dragon, you're gonna be watching after 2026. You probably won't see the next one again until 2028. God bless you, Delia. You know what I'm saying? So at least, but Silo is maybe a year apart with Silo. It's a really good sci-fi flick too. It's a thinking show too. So a lot of thinking shows. Okay, so very interesting. Silo is from Apple TV, I think. So very good show also. All right, you guys. So that's it on the shows and all the stuff that I've been watching and trying to catch up to. So let's talk about It's a Word. Oh my God, do I got It's a Word for y'all today? Talking to a friend. That's how I get sometimes, man. It's a Word when we having conversations and stuff like that. Listen, been very. I've been having a lot of like realizing like a lot of realization about where I'm at now in life, like what has happened in the course of my life. Looking at people, reflecting back on people in the past and realizing that like certain people in my life were who they said they were from the very get-go. And it was my fault from not recognizing who they were. And me and a friend was talking about this week. We were talking about how sometimes you could keep friendships too long. And I heard somebody, I think we may have a clip or something I may show later on that somebody talks about this. But sometimes we can keep things around us. Michelle Obama was talking about this. Things around us where friendships have run its course, or things or people have run its course. And sometimes because we're comfortable in those aspects, like I always say, one of my favorite quotes I made up. It's one of my favorite quotes. Is comfort is a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Comfort causes people to do all kind of crazy things, okay? Because they're simply comfortable. And comfort will make you stay in unhealthy friendships, unhealthy relationships, unhealthy family ships. I got to put family in here too, okay? And there comes a time like you'll have like me and my girlfriend was talking this week. We were talking about how you will start dealing with people with jealousy and all kinds of stuff. And my friend said something to me that was very powerful this week. And I said, oh my God, it's so powerful. I didn't realize it wasn't she wasn't like trying to like up me up, blow, but she said to me, she said, you know, you refuse to understand that you shine. I was like, okay, wow. She said, it's you're fighting that battle of being a Scorpio and a Leo ascendant. She's in astrology like me. So she's like, your Scorpio wants to hide, the Leo ascendant's like, pop out, baby. You know what I'm saying? So you struggle with the fact that you're gonna shine. And sometimes your friendships that you create or the people that you have in your life, they may not like that. These people may not secretly like that about you. And you have to find people who are comfortable with your shine. I was like, ooh. But she said, I was like, wow. You know, she said, people who are comfortable. And she said to me, she said, I tell people all the time when I talk about my friendships and different friends I have, and I say, what I say about you is I say, now I said, she's not just beautiful, she's beautiful from the inside out. And I was like, oh, that was the greatest compliment. But she said, I appreciate your glow. I know who you are. I love it when you glow. I'm on your side. But there will be those friendships that don't. It's okay. You have to let them go. And you can't continue to create friendships or create relationships with people you're just comfortable with. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to be okay. You have to be willing to go outside your zone. I was like, yeah, shit, you're right. I'm learning that. But it was a very powerful moment that we had. And she was just saying how we could just, as people, we will sometimes stay in places that are no longer for us. And those places, the longer we stay, the more uncomfortable the situation will become. You will notice certain friends will not be like liking to talk what you like to talk about. Certain people won't like to do what you like to do. People you will have outgrown the systems, and you still try and you keep trying to cut it yourself to stay in the systems. And some of y'all, this is for relationships too. Okay. You will try to put yourself down to fit within a system. But I really want to say to y'all today, and I think this is really kind of my message all the time, really underneath, is be your best authentic self. You cannot stop being your best self. And if that's going to make people uncomfortable, I'm not talking about your worst self. Now, if your worst self, people will check you on that. But I'm talking about, when you're being your best self and people got a problem with it, you have to be authentic and you have to be who you are. Otherwise, you will kill yourself out here trying to fit into people's world and spaces. Just recognize when you have outgrown a system. I remember when my friends knew me a certain way 50 years ago before I got married. I was the friend. Everybody knew where I was at. I was a friend where everybody could talk to, everybody could this and that. You know, it, it, it was there was a certain thing about me, kind of a mommy friend. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could find me. It was easy to do. I was in Kansas City. At the time I was at my grandparents' house. So everybody knew where that was. My grandparents were the parents. They were, people loved them. Okay. So a lot of people used to be at my house and stuff like that. So when my system changed, and when I moved to Texas and I got married and different things that happened, I noticed something very powerful. Some of the friendships I had were no longer working because they didn't know me as this person. They like, who the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Suddenly, I'm living in a different way. I have my own. I'm very different, and my experiences are different. And suddenly, where I was the girl they could all come talk to with their problems. I couldn't tell them any of my problems because they're shocked. They're sitting there listening when I have a certain problem. They're sitting there like, I don't know if I like hearing you have a problem. You who we come to. And I was like, oh my God, I realized I'm outgrowing this system. And it was hard. And it has been hard. I mean, I've gotten rid of a lot of friendships. And this means I don't love them. It just means it's changed. And then there are some friendships that got brought back to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I always talk about like when I was in high school, if people know, my soulmate from my junior high school on up I had a girl I hung around. I didn't even call her a friend. Her name was Felicia. Everybody knows who she is. That is my sister. Okay, I don't even call her like a friend. She's come back into my life as women the last several years, and it's beautiful. I loved it. Me and her, because for a minute, me and her had a time where we were separated. We just were on different codes, and now she's back. She's back. She's my Scorpio homie. I love I could tell her anything, and I will not be judged. She can tell me anything. She will not be judged. You know what I'm saying? Maybe me a little bit. I'm a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? I can be a little bit more conservative. She's a more saggy. No, I don't know if she's more saggy. I get probably more saggy, like sanctimonious, like Sagittarius do. But yeah, she's more of she can be like, okay, Key, whatever, and stuff like that. But I appreciate the levels, you know what I'm saying? And then there are some friendships that I knew years ago that were only on certain levels and I kept around way too long. You know what I'm saying? It's just really, it's crazy. But you have to understand that. Then I have these two best girlfriends that I've had since ORU, and Tiffany and Makisha, my uh, my Southern Belle and my Caribbean homegirl. And we have not changed from each other since we were at ORU. How close we are, the closeness, how we pray for each other, how we love each other. It's a powerful thing. So I know who's good for me, and I know they're gonna tell me when I ain't right. When I ain't right, they're gonna be like, "Girl, we praying." You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have friends to understand your who that when you where you're at a certain point in time, and that when people are, and then I have my two other girlfriends, two really good girlfriends in my hometown still. It's Malika and Brandy. Y'all know Brandy from the show, okay? And we just talking this morning. We love each other too. I mean, and these friendships all are people who are encouraging to me and I to them. I mean, it's nothing I can't ask these women that they won't usually help me with. You know what I'm saying? And same for me. Like they really have really shown me the value of friendship as a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? And what that means, especially in going to breast cancer, and stuff like that. I talk about that a lot because that is the defining moment for me in my life. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because some people didn't make it out of it. And so to me, it's the defining moment where I have to think about how to redefine my life. And it's also meant that I had to look at people, friend, relatives. Oh my God. If y'all would know the story. You know what I found? The hardest thing was people that I knew as a younger child. I knew that these people weren't right. I knew that they might be not right. But I had put a lot of things on them. And as I got older and my value systems developed, and it allowed me to really see these people who are even my relatives, people you're supposed to love no matter what. Man, I saw these people are just not good. They're narcissists. They're crazy. No offense. I love them, but from a distance. Okay. And I got my own thing too. I don't want to, I don't want to harm your way of life. And I want you to harm mine. So I've had to create distance from people that I really cared for. But you know what? I had to realize if you don't care for me, I can't allow you to be, if you don't have any care for me, if you still want to treat me, if you still want to drain me, be a vampire, treat me as if I'm nothing when when I've done great things. I can't allow that. I can't allow anybody to use me up anymore. And neither should you. Okay. So y'all, it's the word today is study your environment. Be okay with friendships ending. Be okay. Let me see if we got the Michelle Obama thing, y'all. I gotta see if I got it up here so y'all can hear what she said. I thought it was really good. But that's how me and my girlfriend had this discussion this week. Let's see here. I can find it really quick. I know it's on here somewhere. Okay, I do have it. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all hear it. And I think we'll end it with I'm gonna end that it's a word with her talking with this. Hold on. Y'all. And it's okay. You know what? It's okay to sometimes let change things up too in your life. Sometimes we come to that point. Let's see. Okay. Let y'all hear this.
Take their natural course. Mm-hmm. Friendships and relationships kind of tell you when they're ready.
Yeah, that's so true.
Hold on, let me try this so y'all can hear it again from the gig because it's part y'all didn't hear.
Okay. Now, sometimes I say there's such a thing as the slow ghost, where you just sort of let relationships take their natural course. Mm-hmm. Friendships and relationships kind of tell you when they're ready.
Yeah, that's so true.
And you have to kind of listen to it. You learn as you get older. Yeah. Sometimes you held on too long. You let some, bad juju stay around too long. Mm-hmm. And as you get older, you can recognize, right? I've always approached life and friendships, and I try to tell my daughters this too, is stay open. Mm-hmm. Stay open to the possibility of people. I never want my daughters, and I never wanted to feel so high that I was closed off and suspicious, not wanting to let new people in, mm-hmm. right? And that becomes very difficult. Absolutely. When you're the president and the first lady. Mm-hmm. You could, close your life off so much, right? Because everyone might want something from you. But I always felt like, well, that's a loss. Because if you close everybody out, then you miss some gems. Mm. We've tried to be open and find ways to let new people in our lives and develop new relationships. And what I tell my kids is trust your gut, because you'll know when people should be let out. But keep keep your aperture wide open. Let people in, but when they show you who they are, let them out quickly. Sometimes,
I love that. I love a lot what she says lately. And I can love her from a different side of not political standpoint of view, but love what she says. I love that. And I love that they teach their children that because a lot of people, a lot of celebrities or people into that are well known or like she said, in politics that are well known and stuff like that are closed off, suspicious. They create an atmosphere for their families, their children, everything because of money they make and because of this and that. And I can be that way. I'm a Scorpio, baby. Okay, I grew up. That's how I live. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you always sideways. Okay. But one of the things but the Libran in me allows me to be open. I've met so many wonderful girlfriends from my Maxwell adventures. I have tried to be open as I possibly could be to knowing people. I'm still a loner girl. I'm really an introvert. People have a hard time believing that because I do this show and I'm talkative and I'm very talkative. But yeah, no, that took me a while to be. You talking about I'm the girl who had speech class because they didn't think I could talk. When I was in grade school, my grandma, who can't talk? My teacher's like, but she doesn't say anything. She's like, not this girl. She's fooling. She's playing with y'all. She probably know everybody in this classroom, and it was true. You know, I observe you at first, right? That's true. That's true Scorpion nature. I am an observer all day long. Okay, my natural thing is to be suspicious, but I've learned to let my suspicion not cause me to close down on some great friendships or great people I've met. I've met wonderful people. I met Stephanie, who allowed me to be your roommate for the cruise. Then there's Kathy. I met this wonderful other Scorpio. Like, you know what? When you meet another Scorpio, you feel kin to them. And I've met this Scorpio. She is so beautiful. I love her. Name is Kathy. I love her. I'm crazy about her. I really like her. And so these are Maxwell people I've met. Hannah, y'all know Hannah because I've had Hannah on the show. Different people I have met through that little thing. I met a girl named Tasha. I really like, another Scorpio. I met oh my God. I met a room full of strangers one night who I really never will forget. And then also I met a young lady that I am crazy about too, named Iva. I think she is so awesome. And I hope she comes on a cruise. If he has a cruise, I don't know what's going on. Okay. You know, I don't know if he's playing. I don't know. He's in his own world. Maybe he's somewhere making night. I doubt it, but you know. All right, but yeah, if he has a cruise, I would hope she comes because she is such a hoot, and I met her, and I really enjoyed like her. I've met so many wonderful people, and I've tried to stay open to new people, new things. I really do. I really try. I try to because I think that's important. I love what Michelle Obama said about like knowing when to let people out also. And that is something that's hard for me because once I let you in my inner circle, you in, baby. And that's hard for me. It gets very hard for me to let go. And I had to really, for my health, peace of mind, had to let people go. I had to say, okay, you know what I'm saying? I had to realize even one of my friends was growing more distant from me. And I said, okay, well, I understand. I didn't take it personally. I said, we at two different spots. It's okay. And I had to let her go. You know, I was still when I would, come into town, I was trying to make up something, let's go out to eat, let's do this, let's do that. And it just wasn't clicking. And I had to say, okay, this is okay. And then I had one friend who had just been hell on wheels forever. And I knew 20 years ago I should have let it go. But because I was comfortable and I loved the person, I didn't do it, and it ended very badly because I did not make the decision that I should have made years ago. Okay. So that's what I love that when she said friendships and relationships, even your relationships, marriages, all of it have, I love what she says, have slow ghosts. Relationships will let you know when it's time to let go. You know what I'm saying? You can still love people, but realize this is this is not working. And just because you're my relative doesn't mean you have access to me either. I am okay with letting you go. So, and it took a while for me to get there, okay? But I love that. I hope that y'all like that. That's y'all It's a Word today, okay? So let's get out here to some of these other things that are going on. Okay, I saw this story about Klay Thompson. I mean, listen, Colin May the Stallion allegedly ghetto, okay? So NBA's Klay Thompson allegedly called, y'all, I hope y'all can see this. I don't know if y'all can. Let me put it up. Let me look at okay. Okay. This is from the Jasmine brand. And it says NBA's Klay Thompson allegedly called Megan Thee Stallion ghetto, felt abandoned during relationship, sources claim. According to Daily Mail is sometimes has really good things, but it says the reporting citing unnamed sources that Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson's relationship was struggling long before it ended. One insider alleged he privately complained about Megan's personality, claiming she was just so ghetto. I was over the ghetto-ness. The way she speaks, the way she acts. The source described the pair as very different people, noting that Thompson is known for being more reserved and introverted. Despite the insider claim, Thompson developed genuine feelings for her, envisioned a future together. The source says Klay even purchased a larger multi-million-dollar home where the couple planned to live. However, the insider alleged that he often felt neglected due to Megan's demanding schedule, claiming he went to all of these places to support her, and then when he was off over the summer, she was nowhere to be found. He felt like she never made an effort. The source said Thompson definitely liked her at first, but after a while, that faded. Also, the source claims he grew frustrated with constantly being around security and entourages and allegedly complained about conversations related to Megan's ongoing legal and public battles involving Tory Lane. The insider claimed Thompson once said she would not shut the fuck up about Lanes, and allegedly added, she always felt people were out to get her. She needs security everywhere, even in the remote places. That must cost a lot of money, okay? But a second source strongly disputed several of those claims. According to the insiders, discussions about Lanes rarely happen and only surface when Megan encountered false narratives circulating about her on the internet. The source added, if anything, she vented and leaned on her partner for support. Has anyone within a relationship? He is your ex-boyfriend, though. You can't, it's hard to talk. You can't, you can only talk about him for so much. But it says, I also changed, well, he's not the ex-boyfriend, or it looks like some sort of ex. I don't know, allegedly. He also talked about criticism of work schedule and all this stuff. Okay. Listen. Okay, Klay, you got a whole basketball career. Listen, this is what I said from the beginning. There's a couple things that stand out to me about this relationship. And even if he called her ghetto, okay, I'm ghetto. Shit, I'm from the. I could be both. Though I can switch in and out. Okay, I can be the most classiest thing in the room, but I know how to be hood too, because I grew up in the hood. All right, so but hey, I know how to behave. I know how to be myself. I know how to be that. But I don't know what people mean when they say ghetto. When people say that, I started being funny about that because I knew I was a part of the dynamics of the hood in the ghetto, and I knew everybody in the ghetto and what people perceive as ghetto, which is loud and crazy and all that stuff like that. No, not everybody's that way. Okay, we got different characters and different people in urban America. In black, what's really y'all saying black America? When y'all say ghetto, y'all really talking about us, but that's all right. Listen, Clay, I knew this was the. Am I surprised? Opposites attract, okay? But listen, girls, what I always say is look at a man and see what he's going through. Same thing, men, look at women and see what they're going through. Listen, when you, and I believe Megan was really in love with Clay because Clay was something different. Clay is something different for her. She's an Aquarius, okay? He is too. I believe there was some sort of bond. I think he kind of like her. Even the hood stuff, because it's different for him, okay? He probably been dating pretty, cute. He probably ain't dating nobody that tell him like it is. You know what I'm saying? So he's probably different from Clay. Clay seemed like to me a dude that's kind of different. He might play basketball, but he didn't grow up like in, urban things. So I could see what he probably the attractions to Megan. But I also understood that Clay was going through something in his career. He seemed like he's on the second end of his career, the downside of his career. He's been the team that he's always been with, who he's won several championships with, traded him to another team. So all these things create certain people, certain narratives in people, certain depression, certain interest. And so somebody might think they like you at a time when they down. It's like, it's hard to, listen, I always tell people when people down or when people going through something and they like you, just watch it. Just be careful right away. Take it slow because you got to see what they do when they get out of that energy or when they get to know you and who you really are. Like Meg is a beautiful girl on the surface. She's very beautiful. But she got a lot of stuff with her. She got you bag lady. She got a lot of bags. From already in show business. What's the Erica would do? You go hurt yourself. What's the song? Carrying all them bags that way. She said, niggas see you coming. Well, she said something. When they see you coming, niggas take off running from you. It's true. I mean, she seemed like she got a lot. So pack light. She seemed like she got a lot of bags on her already as a young girl, even though she's beautiful. Okay, she's a Pisces. She's coming with it all out. I mean, she's Aquarius with a Pisces moon. It's all out there, I think. You know what I'm saying? But she's super intelligent too. Usually them Aquarius is smart. Okay, don't let them sleep on you. Don't sleep on them. Okay, they just can be different. They can be wild. They eccentric. Not ghetto, Clay. I don't know if it's just a little bit of ghetto, but a little eccentric. He's Aquarius. I would say if this couple is going to work, because I really think he likes her, and I think he's just certain things he's not used to. Like and here's the thing: if you really care for it and you want to make it work, you gotta first realize that you're different, and you gotta say, how do I respect those differences? How do I respect that she is from the hood? She is a rapper, okay? She got a career. She got shit to do. She ain't gonna be all up in my face like the other ones, okay? The other ones ain't got nothing to do. See, that's another thing men don't understand. Some women ain't got shit to do, okay? This woman got shit to do, okay? Like a lot of athletes and singers and shit like that, these celebrities and stuff be talking about, I want a woman that got her own life. Then when you got your own life, them bitches be like, oh, wait a minute now. You ain't spending enough time with me. That's because it's a fake narrative. It's a fake thing. A lot of them are used to girls that they can take off anytime. Like, so, at least Rick Ross told the fucking truth. Shout out to Rick Ross. He told the fucking truth. He said, I like my woman. If you gonna be a surgeon, I mean, I don't know if I really want you to do that job. I said, well, you don't want no surgeon. But he was basically saying, I like a woman that's very attentive to me, that can come when I need her to come and be there. A lot of these men are like that because they have so many women, so many choices. They can be narcissists in that area and only think of themselves. Listen, a lot of those men, they say they want somebody with their own life, but do you know what that means to have a woman who has got her own, sees her own vibe? She's very independent and stuff like that. Now, Aquarius man, I would think would appreciate that. It depends. Depends on his placements and stuff. He's an Aquarius, I think, but I don't know. I forgot what his other placements are. So I personally think that she was a little bit of entertainment for him, but he also liked her. And then as he gets into it, he's uncomfortable because this isn't a chick you dated before. The other girls, like I said, they be riding, they ain't up in your face every day. But Meg done been around the block. Meg ain't necessarily a good girl, in my personal opinion. She been through a lot of shit in her life. Clay, you kind of been, you done grew up with NBA father, you biracial. Your whole life, your whole Steve is probably a lot more easier than Meg's has been. Okay. And you have to respect that about her. You have to understand her differences. And she's probably going to be uncomfortable. The reason I'm saying this, because I really think this man like her. I think this is all bullshit. I think he's going to give up. Here's the thing. This is the sad thing about those type of men. They'll end up giving up something that it makes them uncomfortable because they're used to control. So when they don't have control, you may end up using somebody you really love because you can't control them. This isn't a girl you can control. She's a girl that has her own life and her career. And maybe you talk to her about your insecurities. And y'all could have worked it out together. Or maybe not. But I really feel it's sad because I really feel it's not that she was ghetto. It's not that all that, any of that. I think he liked that. I think he liked the difference. But there's something to be said when you want, it's like, I tell women all the time, there's a price for certain types of men. There's a price for any man. I mean, anybody you're going to get with, anybody that you invite into your life in a partnership, friendship, love, whatever, there's a price to having a relationship with that person. There's an exchange happening. Okay. So when you are going into relationships, especially something like Meg and him, they're both stars. They're both celebrities. Okay. So I loved it. It's sort of like, I love this. I remember reading it one time years ago in Essence. They were interviewing Jada. And it's something that stood out to me about Jada. Jada said that she was never impressed by Will's gifts. She said this was there early in their relationship. And she said, because she could do that for herself. It was like she wasn't trying. She really just wanted to know him. She really just wanted to be with him. And I remember she said, I kind of forget what she said. She was saying that she thought that made him uncomfortable a little bit because he's so used to being, and she had to learn how to be less like, because she could do her own stuff. She could do things for herself. She had to learn a little bit how to be okay with what Will was doing for her and what he was doing with her. I mean, I forget, but that happens. Sometimes these guys, when you're talking about basketball players, singers, actors, they get these women who are at their beck and call. They're at their feet. You know what I'm saying? Anytime a girl calls them up, yeah, what you want? You have me. When you wanna, they not even used to. Sometimes they ain't even got to have conversations with chicks. Like it's certain men don't even know how to have conversations because some of these celebrity men, I've heard that. I mean, not just celebrity men, but men who have really well-to-do things and they have a lot of options. Sometimes you girls are not having conversations with these men. You're just going straight to whatever you do or making it easy for them. And these men don't even know how to talk. They don't even know how to have a regular conversation with women or something like that, or friendship. They don't know how to do that because usually everybody's an option. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know how to get to know somebody and stuff like that. And they get to control those narratives. Because you're dealing with also some people who have a lot of narcissistic things going on. I'm not saying they're narcissists, but they have a lot of it's a narcissistic career. So like a lot of things is surrounded about them. So it's the same thing with Clay. I think Clay, he finds a chick that's his match. She's like, dude, yo, I got stuff to do now. I love being with you, my man. I make a little video, all this, and you can tell the girl liked him. Okay, but I think it just scared him. It scares people to be in love and not be in control. That's why so many people say it's just easier to be with, somebody I love, but I don't feel out of control about. And I think that's what was happening for Clay. I think that Clay was uncomfortable because this is really somebody who is very different for him. And the growth that you have to have as a man and the growth that she has to have as a woman in order for both of y'all to come together, you can see her trying to do it. You can see her trying to move like more towards what he needed. You can see her being more, a little bit more classy. Even though she still was being fun, she still made the stallion. She still got to have her brand. But I think it was uncomfortable for him to stretch because being a man, it's different when you a woman and you in the entertainment business. It's not like the options that are there for men. Men are there. She's got options, but it's not like the options like Clay, like what women will do to be with Clay. Men will do a lot to be with Meg, but it's not what women are different. I hate to say this. So women are just so Clay can have some relationships, pick me relationships. He can have a lot of relationships with pick Mishas. Because they just like, I want to be picked. But Meg is not a girl that just want to be picked. Meg got her career, Meg got her life, and she may have some pick me shit in her, but she basically like, yo, and she's different, and she's probably different in how she handled things. I remember I had a friend, one of my friends, she was married to this guy, and she just freshly got married. She said, she always laughed and used to tell me, he don't know that other side of me, my which we used to call her mother. Her mother passed away, but we used to say her ghost of her mother was living in her, and the ghost of her mom was way different. She was hood like a motherfucker, and the dude she had married was a straight laced dude, right? But when she get hood, she be like, "Nigga, who you talking to?" He be like, right? But that's who she is. He had to learn how to stretch because there is a different person. There's another person there too. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's uncomfortable for people to stretch to be in people's world. Especially I feel that for men. I feel like men sometimes have a hard time stretching to be in the world of somebody that you really love because you don't want to look like a simp. You don't want to look like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? When you should be open like Michelle Obama says, okay? So, you know what I'm saying? And know that in life, nobody has control. You never have control in life. I don't care what you think. Ain't never no control, okay? Only God got control. That's how I say that. So I really think these two. I hate that whatever happened. And he shouldn't be calling nobody ghetto. I think you're just what I think those are the things you liked about her, and you perceived that you could change her. You thought I'll get and make her one of the girls I'm comfortable. But if you make her one of the girls you've been with before, that you didn't stay with them girls. You came after Meg and was a full out simp. You was all on thing, all kind of, well, what I'm gonna say simp. That's the wrong word. That's what them, but you was a full out man in love. And you didn't, and that scared you because she was uncomfortable to be in love with, because she you can't control her like those other chicks probably. But that's why you didn't want them other chicks, because you didn't like that. You want some challenge. But then when she give you some challenge, oh, she ghetto. But you like it too. That's crazy. I think he really liked that woman though. I could tell he really liked that woman when he was on that boat. When he was on that boat after that breakup and trying to sing and play that music, he had that bandana wrapped around his head. I said, Clay, go get that woman. Quit acting up. Don't be out here. Don't listen to these meadow spirits. You gonna be in something you don't want. You gonna be sad, riding around. You gonna be sad riding around with a replacement that can't be replaced. You gonna be like, dang, she sure ain't made. Because that's what a lot of men do. Men will walk around. They will go around. They will marry a replacement that they know ain't a replacement. I think this is what it is. Men will do that. Men will just be out here. He probably on the boat with all the his boys. Yeah, we got you. Look at all these choices you get. Look at all these beautiful. All he probably think about is, dang, she wasn't that ghetto. We had fun. He probably was having great sex. Sex that's right, blowing his mind. I know he lonely. I don't buy it. I think you was in love, and I think you got uncomfortable because it could not be controlled. Funny, okay. All right, let's go on to some the other news out here, y'all. Mhm. Okay, they're supposed to be suing. Tyra Banks is suing Netflix. Uh, they're saying this from the Jasmine brand too. Claims America's Next Top Model doc used just 16 minutes of her interview to push a defamatory narrative. I think it's a waste of time, Tyra. I wouldn't sue. I think suing. This is my personal opinion. Yes, they pushed this narrative to, and it kind of took away from her brand. But I also think, Tyra, they were using that Netflix thing to cover up for other people being in the Epstein files. That was your counterparts and stuff out of these streets, okay? Because we in this globalist thing going on right now. Listen, I really think Tyra just chill. People like me saw through that documentary. I think Tyra did some things that wasn't right. Everybody did, yeah, some things, but I think in the end, I think her heart meant for girls to have an opportunity and not have to go through the mud, get it through the mud like she had to, or other women had to, or you end up being in the Epstein files. And the reason why a lot of the women didn't make it, let me just explain this to some of you girls who was on America's Next Top Model and shit like that. And you talking about we was on there, but we didn't really get nothing afterwards. Some of the girls did. It's a lot of people did. Eva got some. What's that other girl? I forget. She started with a T. I met her. She was so dang cool. Takara was the boss. She was cool. Takara was mad cool. Takara, and that other white girl who became a big time plus size model. Listen, it was some women who made it. But here's the thing. The reason why that industry didn't want you to make it, because a lot of people wanted, Tyra was trying to stop to me, in my personal opinion, how I saw Tyra watching that documentary, is somebody trying to stop the cycle of abuse. Give you a little bit of realism about what that industry was really like at the time. She threw some hard shit. They do some hard shit. You gotta do some, and you gotta sell your soul a little bit to be on that television, okay? You gotta that sitcom. I mean that show had to have a little bit of debauchery and some shit in it. And some of y'all was a sacrificial lamb for that shit, and you knew you was gonna be that. Ain't nothing in reality TV that was gonna be not harmful. Just a smidge, okay? All of it was just a little toxic. Okay, but for the most part, I believe Tyra was trying to keep you having to go through 9 months of a little shitty hell, but instead of being out here and in these New York streets or whatever you would have been in, the pavement, probably running into sharks, prostitution rings, all kind of bullshit they was doing out there that you wouldn't have known shit about. Tyra was trying to give y'all a head start because she knew all this shit existed. So she was trying to give girls a thing to, hey, let's make it. But the reason to me that industry was against that, because they like people coming to a rough way. Because sometimes some of these industries are merged in with the darkness. And they want you to come through the darkness. But Tyra was trying to keep y'all monkey asses from coming through the darkness. She's like, 9 months on this reality show, I'm gonna throw some bullshit at you now. I'm gonna throw some shit. Because they gotta be entertained out in TV land. But for the most part, I'm trying to put your face out here so people will see you, so you will have opportunities and you don't gotta go through the darkness as much as another girl would have to, getting it in the mud. And maybe so you won't end up in the Epstein files and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tyra. I don't think I saw through all the bullshit, Tyra. I don't think you need to be trying to be out here rescuing your thing. I knew what they was trying to do to you, and I knew why they was trying to do it to you. And I also understand these little young millennials, not all of y'all, but a lot of y'all, okay, and little Z's, okay. I always said 1984. I want y'all to get something. I remember one of my Z friends said, "What's 1984?" I said, "Oh my Lord, okay, go watch it." She's like, "Okay." I said, "Yeah, you're gonna be y'all the generation of 1984 because there is no you have been taught everything is a problem. You're offended by everything. I'm offended, and so but you don't understand that the 90s was a different time than it is now. The things that you're aware of that was wrong in 1991, we weren't aware of. We got it a little bit rougher. We got a little bit rougher in the mud. Okay? We didn't have intimacy training. Political correctness wasn't that big at the time. You couldn't be canceled easily. It was a different time. And we learned in the times as the time grows. I think y'all are too out of control now, but we didn't have pronouns. You know what I'm saying? So chill. Tyra, you don't got to do that. I think a lawsuit's taking your energy. I don't think you need to do none of it. I think it is what it is. You knew what you was trying to do. You ain't got to explain shit to nobody. You didn't have to do it. Anybody who does something powerful like she did, you ain't going to always be perfect. And you're going to be the villain sometimes. Sometimes you got to be the motherfucking villain. That's one thing I'm learning. Sometimes you got to be the motherfucking. I got a post up right now on my thing about Scorpios, where this Scorpio woman said, they said Scorpios be like, she's like, sometimes you got to, you got to be okay with being the villain. She said, if I'm the villain in your story, that's okay with me. Because she said, you a whole clown in mine. Sometimes, and that's very hard for me because I like to be a nice girl. And so sometimes it was always hard for me to understand that sometimes I'm the villain. I ain't perfect. Sometimes I'm going to be the villain in the motherfucker story. It is what it is. I'm sure I'm the villain in a lot of people. Some people look at me and say, she's the villain. Okay? That's how I go in these streets sometimes. Okay? So sometimes some people going to be the villain. And Tyra, that's what you got. You that girl. Understand you gonna be the villain. In order to do what you had to do, you had to walk in some villain shoes sometimes. And that's okay. Only thing I hated about the show is that you didn't explain that well enough. It felt like you was trying to protect yourself. And I understand that because you were suddenly being attacked instead of being idolized for something great that you did. Even though you weren't perfect at doing it. Okay, but you were the first. That's how I go sometimes. When you the first, ask Barack Obama. He didn't do everything right. He didn't do shit right. But that's how I be being the first. Well, he really ain't. He's the first Kenyan. You know what I'm saying? We still ain't got the first Black American president who was the product of Black American slaves. FBA and ADOS. Okay. So interesting, okay? All right, you guys. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna put this little what's this little music on? This little music, and I'll be back in just a second, okay? Give y'all a little break. All right, you guys, we are back on the Carlotta Chat with Show. Okay. Let's see. All right, yeah. So, I know y'all mad at Jay-Z right now, okay? And listen, I'm gonna tell you something, black people. I don't know what's going on with us. It's something about us. We like light politics. We don't want our politics to be too deep. We like MSNBC drive-bys and CNN drive-by, little bit Fox drive-by, if you're on the conservative side. I mean, we really don't have a full understanding of what our journey in America has been or has Americans. We really don't. We really like y'all mad because Jay-Z done partnered with Target for something. And y'all wasn't as near mad at him for Brooklyn and shit, for gentrifying your fucking neighbor. Like that's because that's too deep to think about. The gentrification of black neighborhoods and people calling him a sellout in the Epstein. I mean, people in the Epstein files kind of literally talking about using him as a mascot to get their way in certain communities so they won't be protesting again. But y'all get mad about Target? I never stopped shopping at Target, by the way. I don't shop at Target as much, but it wasn't because of y'all protests. Because I understand who DEI and affirmative action and those type of things benefited. White women. Black people are less than 4%. And I know I had some black people tell me, well, this at least is 4%. No, because that's not what you should be fighting. You should be fighting, why is it that the people who these laws were made for, affirmative action, DEI, why, I don't know why Jamal Bryant and all of them don't think a little deeper than this. Why those laws, instead of shaking down Target, government, why is these laws that were created for Black Americans in the first place, because we were, and everybody else wrote in on our justice claim, why are we being the least benefited? Are we having a problem? Is it not really race and gender, but one of lineage in America? Does Black people have to fight their fight in a separate situation here? Y'all still fighting the surface shit. The surface shit, DEI don't even fucking matter. DEI didn't benefit you. You out here marching for white women, you protesting for white women, and mostly benefited white women and other groups. You the less. You have the real justice. It's really hard to talk about because we think one way we got one part of us that recognize like certain things about like we recognize globalism in certain ways. Like it's I don't know if we really lazy in our thinking. Sometimes I don't know. Like we cannot. Like you can have a sitting down talk to a group of Black people in a barbershop. You can go or a beauty shop, and you could be talking about the diaspora, and you could talk about how we're our own culture. And some Black person will be in there talking about, well, we all Black and everything like that. But within the same sentence, to say, well, these Africans out here be sometimes acting different from us. Because they are different from you. They from a different culture, a different ethnicity. But at the same time, they'll say we all Black. No, that is not the it. No, they are from a different place. They're from a different continent. Your ancestors may have been from there, but you have not. You were not. You haven't seen. You don't know nothing about it. You ain't seen. Black people in America almost 600 years. 5 to 6. You've been here a lot of generations before the Revolutionary War. Some are even indigenous to the land. I don't got time. So you are different. That's the first thing to understand. And you are your own culture because and a part of that is the Americanism that has happened to us because our culture, as I said, was sold as a product all around the world. So everybody feels attached. We're the product of global Blackness because of Hollywood and music. And we're the one thing that is truly authentically American. Everybody else came here with culture. They immigrated here. But Black Americans were stripped from their culture. and from different places throughout Africa. I heard Joy, one thing I say, Joy Reid, I don't even usually agree with Joy Reid, but I love something she said on the show. She was talking to these African guys and she was saying to them, she said, really, she was talking about it was how powerful Black Americans were. And she said, really, she said, they are many out of one. They are many, she said, they are many out of one or something like that. Like we come from many parts of Africa, but when we came to America, everything was stripped from us because we come from different now remember, Africa is a continent. Africa is not. I know y'all like to get over here and play them games and say we all Black, but they don't even believe that. They come from Nigeria. You can see right now South Africans are arguing with people. They don't want illegal immigration from other parts of Africa. Now, the only people who talking about that's a shame. Look at them. It shouldn't be Blacks against Black. Those are Africans who have gotten over here and bought into Pan-Africanism. Some of them, but mostly, but immigrants in South Africa is not happening. And I ain't mad at them because a little bit I'm kind of worried because they saying the foreigners running everything. And a little bit of it's a little bit like, where was y'all at during apartheid? Why were you motherfuckers trying to immigrate during apartheid and help a motherfucker out during the apartheid when they was running South Africa? Where was y'all asses at? Now you want to come over there and try to probably partner with the enemy. You know what I'm saying? That's usually how I go with, like, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Not all immigrants, but a lot of immigrants come over and partner with the enemy. Or now partner with white supremacy, which is the enemy, not white people with supremacy, okay, and racism. Okay? They come over here and be a part of the system. Right? So Black people, we got to start understanding how this thing works, how deep, who we are. First of all, as Black people, we have our own culture in America. We are Black, and we came from different parts of the continent in Africa. Those Black people whose relatives are from Africa, even if you're from American indigenous, you were here before, you probably still came from some parts of Africa, right? And then we also became a mixed biracial group of people because of the massive rapes during slavery and the Native American mixing and all that stuff. Okay. So we have, over the last 500 to 600, we have morphed into something else. We know nothing about Africa. And when our people came over here from different parts of Africa. So a Nigerian might have been put next to a Kenyan. And they still from different places, different cultures. But out of all those cultures, we created one. This is why we're the true American thing, because we came here stripped and they made sure we stayed stripped. They cut us off from everything. And I thank them for that. That's the one thing they thought they was doing us harm, but they was really making us some bad mofos. Okay. And what we did was we created the true, authentic American culture. We didn't come here with European. We came here with different things. And by first generation, we're creating our own music, our own sound. A lot of our sounding, I know y'all like to give Africa, but go listen to African music. 19th century, 18th century. Go listen. It don't sound like what y'all been created over here in America. Okay, very different. That's an American. We've created the true things that are American. Okay, so we gotta start thinking of ourselves deeper, and we can't be we be arguing about something. Y'all should have been pissed at Jay-Z, but now y'all getting pissed at Jay-Z because of Target. I don't understand. If you got to start thinking different, you got to start thinking of your lineage. You got to start, because you're not getting anything. Now you have more people over here, and now it's not even about your color anymore. It's about your lineage and making sure that America gives you what it should have given you. We are celebrating even Black presidencies that are really not. Barack Obama is not a Black American. He's a Black, his dad was Kenyan. Kamala Harris is an immigrant from an immigrant family too. Where are the descendants of slaves that can ascend to the White House? That is our culture. That's who we are. And that tells us how far we've come in America. But why are they putting up immigrants to cosplay us? I don't understand what's going on. We got to start asking ourselves some deep questions because it's getting deep out here. And we can't have lazy political thoughts. We can't be mad at Jay-Z because he's going to partner with Target. Y'all y'all wasn't really mad at him about gentrifying Brooklyn, helping to gentrify. I don't understand y'all. Y'all get mad about the wrong shit. I can see if DEI was helping. Okay, I can't. I'm not gonna. I can't. I'm done. Okay, I'm done on that now. Okay, Jay-Z. I'm not mad at Jay-Z about partnering with that. That's and now y'all like, look, Jay-Z partnering with T. Y'all been saying he was a sellout, but not because of Target. We were seeing for some deeper shit. Y'all seeing it for some Target. Speaking of Target, was it the former? What was she at Target? What was Carolina at Target? I can't. Caroline Wank. Y'all ain't heard the tea in these streets. Is it Essence Fest happening still this year? Y'all acting like I ain't even heard none of y'all talk about no Essence Fest. Essence Fest. Is somebody going? Is it? I thought about going. Then I was like, no, the tickets is too high for the lineup they got. The lineup's terrible. I don't know who's doing that lineup, child. And then y'all messed it up last year. People mad. People throwing. I really believe they're gonna have to. They're probably gonna force Rich Lou to sell. I'd rather Time Warner have it. Time Warner did a better job of running Essence than what I'm seeing Rich Lou do. And one of the things I loved, I heard somebody say this week. She was talking, I think on YouTube, and she was talking about how if you buy a Latino magazine, like if I bought a Latino magazine, I'm hiring the Latinos and everything to run the magazine. I don't want to change it. That's why I bought it to sell to the. I bought it for what it could do. It's probably because I have an affinity for a certain community. If I bought a Haitian magazine, I got an affinity for they. I don't want to run. I don't want them to change their culture. Enjoy. I want them. I bought it because of the culture it's for. Why would you buy a magazine and try to then change it? That's crazy. Why would you invest in a festival that's a Black American festival, then trying to change it? Because you know we are the global. We you know why we draw everybody, because we are that group. We really universal, even though we're American. Black Americans appeal to everything. Ain't nothing in this earth that Black American culture ain't touched. I saw some Chinese the other day dancing, drill team dancing like we used to do in the 80s. Okay? So why would you want to come over here and Africanize up a Black? That's because we did this, Black people, trying to attach on to something that wasn't real. We was Pan-African in it back. We was doing too much craziness. And we made Africa, we put Africa too much in the forefront because we felt like stepchildren. But we didn't realize that these mofos was traitors too. They traded us up. They wasn't that great. Okay. Not that, and I'm not talking about all my people in the diaspora and on the continent and everything. Much love to y'all. But we got to be real. Okay, so we gave a lot of love for our creation of music and going through the hard times and things we did to Africa. We shouldn't have. And so now these people think they gonna come over here and Africanize, so they think we glorify them, and we shouldn't really. It was a false narrative. We was abused children. Okay, looking for a way, looking for a home. Okay, and you looked at, and these people had nothing to do with what you created in America. Okay, now let's look here at Carolina. Looks like she is suing Essence right in time for the festival. Woohoo! Lord, it's messy over there at Essence. Remember when Rich Lehu first brought Essence? It was a mess back then too. Remember how the staff was suing, the former staff was suing him, allegedly accusing him of sexual harassment, accusing him of putting his wife over human resources. It was a funky ass mess. I was like, Tom Porter, come back and get it. They sold it to somebody didn't know what. Man, it was chaos when he first bought Essence. And then he went and got Caroline Wanga from Target. Hoping that Carolina would bring some, because Carolina had already been successful over there at Target. Hoping that Caroline would bring some structure over there at Essence. But instead, y'all had her bringing more African stuff. Oh, y'all trying to make her the African Susan Taylor. The funny thing about Susan Taylor, let me just say this. You know, Susan Taylor has I think she was second or third generation Caribbean or something like that or whatever. You never knew it. Why? Because Susan Taylor respected the people. She was editor of the magazine. She respected who that magazine was for. It didn't mean she doesn't have a global touch every now and then, but she was a wonderful editor because not just because she's a part of the diaspora, but that sister understood our community. And she championed us. She was one of us. Even though she's not technically, she was. She loves Black America. That's why that magazine did so well under her. And she learned from a Black American woman when she took it over, she had she had taken steps from another woman who was running the magazine. She never tried to change it. She understood this is not the Caribbean. This is Black Americans. And even though we're going to have a global touch, every now touch us so we can introduce our brothers, people to our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, the host of this magazine are Black American women. The culture of this magazine is the Black American women. When you come to the Essence Festival, this is about Black American culture and Black American women. And the journey of Black people in America. She understood it. She didn't try to change it. She didn't try to have no reggae every night and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? She didn't try to do whatever. I don't know what her background. Or is she part of whatever the she? And there's some people I think I've heard different things. They've been 2 or 3 generations. She really didn't know much. She more acquiesced to the Black American culture. So she understood a lot about that. So shout out to her. That's why that magazine did well. But Caroline came in and was trying, probably in my opinion, and this is my personal opinion, probably due to, because Rich Lehu is not the only person that's probably part of that management group that's giving him money. That's Shea Butter money, then by Essence, okay? He has some partners, okay? Probably some of them is white or whatever, and other group. And I believe corporations, and I believe corporate structures, corporate sponsors put pressure, because I believe there's a globalization of things going on. Try to globalize. Hey, even selling a Black magazine to Africans, I don't think that was even a mistake. I think it's trying to globalize certain things. You even look at the NBA right now, global. That's done on purpose. Even the stars they have. The last 5 years, the NBA has been trying to sell global stars. They've had a hard time doing it, but they've been trying to sell globalism. Carolina comes over and tries to globalize Essence magazine. Black people, well, she doesn't try to do it. She's saying right now, she's telling y'all it wasn't her. But immediately people sniff it out. Black Americans like, wait a minute now. Our people been through too much here. You're not about to make this happen. This is a Black American thing, okay? But let me read this. This is from AOL. It says, after announcing she was stepping down as CEO of Essence Ventures amid turmoil around Essence Fest, Caroline Wanga is claiming defamation. Okay. Listen, it's been a mess over there at Essence. I've been trying to tell y'all this for a long time. And this is why I try to tell this one young lady this on this thing. She was going off about different things. And I try to tell her, because Black people, Black people don't understand what state we're in, because we're so used to dealing with domestic energy in America, fighting racism locally, nationally, and stuff like that, that we don't understand what's taking place on the global stage and how corporations are moving. We're not looking at globalism and how its effects on our community and immigration and all those things can work to change even our culture. We're not understanding the idea of, see, white people been into this stuff a long time. Like you've had the Alex Joneses out there and stuff like that, who people think are crazy, but who've been talking about eugenicism, countries with no borders, and all those things, all these things that people say eugenists and globalists want. And we're not aware of it. We're just now, some of us coming in, people coming into aware of how globalism is shaping and reshaping even our culture, or trying to redefine American culture. And so we don't understand that some of these deeper politics there's this ideas to come in and buy these magazines. That's why a lot of Black Americans, sometimes you're not getting the money or the structures and things to own these magazines and stuff like that, because they don't want you to, because they're trying to change the narrative of what Blackness, how Blackness appears. They're using you as the structure, but also adding in other groups. This is what Blackness is. You know what I'm saying? And but using you to do it. It's gotten deep out here, okay? But it's saying there's a distinct erasure of happening of Blackness in the Black Americanness, okay? But it says on Thursday, June 11th, the former CEO filed a lawsuit in the Supreme Court of the state of New York against both Essence Ventures and Sundial Media for defamation, alleging her reputation was mishandled amid the fallout from discourse surrounding last year's Essence Festival of Culture. Now listen, Caroline, it was a mess when you was running around there and you was interviewing everybody. Okay, it was a mess that year too. I noticed that 2 to 3 years ago how Essence was messing up. I talked about it on my live. I talked about the change. It would be interesting to see how Essence changed. And I remember Black people saying to me, "What you mean? What you mean?" And then 3 years later, suddenly people picked it up, but they were already doing it. They were already putting little things here. Okay. So, but it said, and even her, she was coming in time that, we all want, you can't say we not fighting for you, just like we fight for people in the diaspora. Something. I said, no, but this is a Black American magazine. You should be all of you. This is your main bread and butter right here. I said, the thing, watch her say that, okay, but ain't my business. But said, out of abundance of courtesy, I share this regarding my personal integrity, professional ethos, and purpose journey. She wrote in the caption of an Instagram post containing screenshots of a press release from her attorney's office in lawsuit. I am highly % sure that some missing knowledge has led to false assumptions regarding my leave as president CEO that predated the activation of operational planning for a significant annualized event, she continued. According to the lawsuit, Wanga spent months watching criticism tied to the festival held annually in New Orleans across the July 4th weekend attach itself to her name, though she says she was no longer involved in the company operations. The filing alleges Wenger resigned as CEO in March 2025 after being on medical leave since September 2024, months before the planning for the 2025 festival was underway. Because she remained publicly held out as the CEO, she was blamed by the public for the failure of the festival and faced significant backlash, including threats directed toward her and lies spread widely about her in lawsuit. That lawsuit states. Sidebar, and I'm gonna say this with all due respect to Caroline Wenger. This was already happening, people. People were already people saw you were talking this shit 2 and 3 years ago, Caroline Wenger. You was a part of the narrative of reshaping and retrying to change, Africanize that magazine, or re-diasporize, make it a diaspora magazine. I mean, a diaspora brand, and not the keeping Black American women has the host and Black American culture has the host. Because because what a lot of people don't realize about Essence is a Black American woman magazine. But we have a lot of men. Our men like the magazine because it was a great magazine years ago. And men bought the magazine for Black women. There was 3 Black men who started the magazine for Black American women. It was a mess, Carolina, when people saw you coming up in the clothes, you had your hair doing, you was talking a lot of crap at some of them seminars about 2 and 3 years ago. People were putting your videos out. I don't think you have a lawsuit, to be honest, because I think you bought into Rich Leu's narrative, and I don't think people was mad at you because of I don't think people. This is just my personal opinion. I don't think people were upset with you because of this year's. You acting like this year's festival was just a funky ass mess. This had been going on for like the last 5 or 6 years since Rich Leu took over the Essence. The first year was cool. After that, it started people was noticing different. I noticed changes right away. I could tell the music that was being played when you come into things, certain music. They were trying to globalize the festival, not understanding that Black American is global. Doesn't mean we can't play a little diaspora music every now and then because we like reggae and stuff like that. Don't mean that, but it just means that the Black American culture has been already sold as global. R&B, hip hop, all that stuff. It's already been sold all over the world. Everybody know who we are. We a global thing. We ain't got to change nothing. We ain't got to be African. We ain't got to be Caribbean because that's not who we are. But we invite our people, everybody. But that's not who we are. And you trying to change the magazine to some sort of global thing is weird. Okay, and I think you was the part of that. And I don't think your reputation got ruined because you was defending yourself on video. I probably what they're gonna pull out. They probably gonna pull out them old videos of you being the CEO and defending yourself against Black Americans already on the attack about the magazine changing up and the festival changing up. I sat in the room where I heard her say some things, okay, at the festival, one of them festivals. Okay, so I'm sure they just gonna bring that. They just gonna bring and sit the video right there. Even so, you was going with their narrative. That's my thing. But I think people just didn't like you being the CEO from the get go. Okay, it says the filing alleges that beginning in July 2025, Wenger, who issued a statement herself at the time, repeatedly asked the company leadership to publicly clarify that she had been on health-related leave. And they did. I heard it. And it said, I don't know if they did it, but I know I heard it. And was not involved in the festival's planning, programming, sponsorships, or operation. But you were probably involved 3 to 4 years ago. This didn't just happen. This last year, what happened to the Essence Fest was accumulation of many years. Probably the last 5 to 6 years of the Essence Fest changing up. There were complaints the first year that Rich Leu took over Essence. That's why he came and got you, because he wanted to build some structure, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, okay? You were a corporate person, and he wanted an African. He didn't want a Black American. That's my personal opinion, because he was trying to globalize the magazine. So then then also, I think that first year, he was getting complaints from locals at the festival of local businesses and everything being shut out the festival, being not allowed to use Essence licensing and all kinds of things. So Carolina, don't act like this just happened out last year. This shit was going on for the last several years that Rich Lehu had been in charge, and you came in on it, supposed to be able to straighten it out, and you didn't. And in the end, you took the fall for it because you was the face for them 2 or 3 years for a minute. You was trying to be a Susan Taylor, and it ended up backfiring on your ass. That even when you was gone and it stepped away from the magazine, people still remembered your ass. Okay, and still remembered you on the videos talking all that shit people had up. I tell you, Carol, I don't think the lawsuit gonna work, but go ahead. It says request to the company leadership. Okay. The lawsuit continued despite the request. When Essence Ventures announced her departure in August 2025, it intentionally omitted these key facts. Wanga is seeking damages, attorney fees, and a jury trial. In the lawsuit, she claims the controversy caused significant harm to her business ventures, including her company, Wanga Woman. She alleges revenue fell to zero, employees had to be laid off, book sales declined, and business opportunities dried up as a result of the fallout. The filing marks Wanga's first Instagram post since August 2025, when she and Essence Ventures jointly announced that she would not return from health leave and was stepping down as president and CEO. The timing sparked widespread speculation, coming amid intense scrutiny of the brand following the festival. Essence Ventures today announced that Caroline Wanga, who has been on health leave since September 2024, has made the decision not to return to her position as president and CEO of Essence Ventures, the company said at the time. We are profoundly grateful to Caroline for her leadership, vision, and unwavering advocacy of Black women and culture, said Rich Lehu Dennis, founder and chairman of Sundial Technology and Media Group, parent company of the Essence Venture. Her expertise in culture, equity, and organizational change has fueled progress across the Essence Ventures portfolio. Caroline has left an indelible mark on Essence and beyond, and we celebrate many ways she has amplified our mission and impact. Okay. The discourse surrounding last year's Essence Festival was a mixture of criticism about access, influencer involvement, production sponsorships, and planning. Confusion surrounding Lauryn Hill's late set during opening weekend fueled other criticism. Essence publicly clarified the earlier delays and pushed her performance back. As the criticism spread online, the conversation quickly moved beyond production complaints and into a broader debates about the brand's direction and the relationships to Black American culture. According to the lawsuit, Wanga became the target of much of that criticism despite her absence from the company, because Wanga was the first sign of that happening. People who are smart and in the grassroots recognize that magazine was changing years ago. Okay, as soon as Rich Lehu got it, we saw him trying to globalize that magazine. Okay, and it said Wango further alleges that some criticism stemmed from misconceptions about her previous role at Target and the retailer's involvement with the festival despite an ongoing boycott. However, the griot was on the ground at Essence Fest last year. Now, you can't trust, my personal opinion, griot, you can't trust you because you in the big dogs. You got too many sponsors and shit. You talking about you was on the ground and you said, I was on the ground too and found some of the loudest criticism was amplified online and did not always reflect the experience on the ground. No, Griot, it did not, because people are there to party. Black people sometimes find out about political things shit late. They'll party first and then they'll be like, oh, we what? They did what? They did. You mean ain't no Black people wanting this? They don't know till you start telling them the political angle. And then when they start realizing it, see what happened is the accumulation of them trying to globalize stuff came to pass within this 1 year. And then suddenly people who normally wouldn't recognize it, like people like me recognized it years ago, knew what was up. But there are people, them regular people starting to ask, like, what y'all got talking about Joe Law? We supposed to be in New Orleans. You supposed to be about gumbo. People realize that when they had that soca night, they had that years ago. People was like, you should have saw the Black people sitting in the audience. It's still that, not that we don't want hear other things from the diaspora. Black people go to reggae fest and everything else. It's just that we don't want you. We knew there was something happening. Somebody trying to change this tradition that has been traditionally Black American. And Caroline Wanga, I think you was a part of that shit Rich Lehu was in on. That's why you got the blowback. says this lawsuit is being brought to hold Essence Ventures and Sundial leadership, including Rich Lady Dennis and Kirk McDonald, to account for allowing a false public narrative to destroy Ms. Ranger's reputation. I'm kind of glad the lawsuit going forth. He might stop it and try to stop it with a settlement, because it's probably all kind of shit gonna come out in the lawsuit. How bad Essence really in trouble. It's not really gonna come out, because they able to hide a lot of shit right now, but they probably gonna want to settle with her. Because during discovery, all that stuff, I probably a lot of shit come out about Essence. We already know they couldn't pay their vendors last year, allegedly. They couldn't pay the state of New Orleans or something like that. I mean, the state of Louisiana for certain things, allegedly. There was a lot of stuff going on with that. So we know the festival has had a hard time. And the festival, everybody knows, feeds everything else. Let me just say this about Rich Lady Dennis. Being Black doesn't mean you understand Black Americans. I could look at your lineup and tell that you can't understand. You have no understanding of what the Essence Festival is really about. I've always said, when I was a young girl, it was a dream to go to the Essence Fest, because why? We knew all that was like what you do when you either got some money, you got a little bit of coin, you go to the festival. It was always a class act. It was, people had their family reunions down there. Celebrities had parties. It was like a family atmosphere. It was a place you could go see celebrities walking down the street. You could see all kinds. It was just a beautiful time where just Black people, Black American people got together and just was Black American for that weekend, just all hanging out, loving each other. And if other groups came from around, we loved them too. But it was our celebration of us. People would have family. And it was all generations. When I first went to the Essence Festival, it was every generation down there. And it was mostly set up for the oldest generation, because that's who had the money. Right? And so they would have young stuff too, but a lot of Black people, because a lot of young Black people, we grew up on old school Black stuff, but I can tell what you bringing up in there now, that you don't understand what the Essence Festival is about. Like, some of them acts you done got on the main stage should be in a soul lounge. Y'all done got rid of the soul lounges, okay? It is a disaster. Coca-Cola, you need to back your ass up out of there. Black Americans are turning their back on this festival, I believe. I think if they do show up, it's because they ain't got nothing to do for the weekend. I want to see how well the festival do. Okay. And Carolina's shout out to Carolina, because one thing about this, even though I think this lawsuit is full of shit, because I think you was carrying the narrative, I don't think the blowback, my personal opinion, Carolina, the blowback on you is not from this Essence Fest this year. This is when it just all came to fruition. But people have been complaining about the Essence Fest for the last 7 years. The white folks, we used to complain about the white folks, but they did a better job than y'all. Which I think they done put y'all up to their dirty deeds. I personally believe it's a corporation gave them some money too. But I'm going to digress. Listen, that's just my personal belief. Okay? That's not facts. I'm just saying what I believe. I'm just saying, but Caroline, I do appreciate this lawsuit, because I think the lawsuit's going to show some ugliness going on at Essence. If I'm Rich Lady, I'm settling. Because if I don't want y'all to know how fucked up the business is, probably. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying I suspect it is, okay? So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this lawsuit, okay? Very interesting, okay? Mm-hmm. Very interesting, okay? And listen, things like the griot and stuff, people like certain magazines and stuff, y'all be late. The grassroots, they got all kind of stuff out here. This is what I used to love about ADOS. I mean, not ADOS, about Essence years ago. We could go into different, seminars and stuff, and you would see even the grassroots people on stage, like talking. It'd be real life people talking about real things going on in the community. And if you didn't know what was happening on the grassroots, you'd find out at the Essence Festival. Not no more. Like, y'all got all the commercial people saying the same shit. Like you got the Angela dumbass Rye. You got no, that ain't fun. No, that's not nice. Angela Rye, smart girl. You got the all of the same group. Charlemagne. You got the same people that don't know really, they ain't really grassroots. They worry about corporations. So you don't get to hear the grassroots confront the structure and them have a conversation. You used to see that at the Essence Fest years ago. You used to see that. It was a beautiful thing. And you really could learn in them seminars. No more. You want in seminars that are commercially done. They are, and I can see it over the last 10 years happening, even under Susan, that you could see some commercialization of it, but it was still there. You still had grassroots in the room with structure, with old school Black American thought versus new school Black American. It was great. And you used to learn and you could hear, and then Black people could go away with their own narratives. Now they're trying to create the narratives for you because corporations have come in here and they start to give money, and they're also trying to control narratives. And that's unfortunate for Essence because that wasn't what Essence Festival was about. It's such an unfortunate thing. Like, it wouldn't be surprised that Essence, 10 years ago to see you didn't have the Roland Martins back then. They've all been used to replace Tavis Smiley because Tavis Smiley not playing ball with the structure as he used to. Well, he wasn't never, but he spoke against main structure things. So a lot of times they done ousted Tavis from a lot of shit. But it wouldn't be nothing to see Tavis and stuff hosting the seminars, things like that. Now they got all the certain people that's commercially sound. And what a lot of them are doing too, what you hear a lot of these people doing too now, they're trying to, let me just say this. You would have saw Yvette Carnell on stage with Tariq at Essence Fest 10 years ago. Even if they disagree with each other, you would have got to hear them both speak about certain things. That's how dope Essence used to be, along with Cornel West or Michael Eric Dyson, who are accepted by mainstream, but the other structures are not there. That was normal at Essence. Not anymore. And now it's all these mainstream clowns up there, okay? And ain't nobody confronting them about a lot of stuff. And then a lot of them steal the narrative of a lot of the grassroots so they can look legit. Oh, suddenly now is Black Americans got a culture. When ADOS was saying that stuff 5 and 6 years ago, y'all said they was bots. Y'all called them I forget the word. Y'all called them all kind of names, saying they was being mean towards other groups and racist towards. Now y'all all adopting that narrative because it's caught on the mainstream. And Essence let you know it. Now Black Americans are rethinking like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold up. So I found that interesting. Okay. Speaking of this, let's talk about the Juneteenth flag. Okay. Juneteenth is coming up. Okay. And, I love this. I saw this on FBA Legacy. I saw this. This is really good. This is from FBA Legacy. I even got red. Like my outfit for this year for Juneteenth is red, black, and green because that's all they got it in, red, black, and green. Even though I like the colors, they go good together. But I understand that as a Pan-Africanism thing that Black Americans started doing years ago, okay? But it really is about our culture. This is a day, even though I think all of America should be celebrating Juneteenth like they celebrate July the 4th, because it is a pivotal moment in American history when America stops looking like a hypocrite and freedom is actually gained for the slaves. Every American should celebrate what happened in 1865 in Galveston like they do July the 4th. It is just as pivotal part to American history has the beginning of it of the 250th anniversary we're about to have as Americans. Okay, but it's both of them recognize pivotal moments in American history and moments that are connected to freedom. So I think I love this idea about this flag, and I've been knowing about it out here, and I agree with it. So I want to play this what this lady talked about here. It's very interesting. Let y'all see here. Now hopefully we get this up. Okay, let's go.
Because most people think Juneteenth colors are red, black, and green. But that's not Juneteenth. That's Pan-African. And I know this might sound wild, but stay with me. Because by the end of this, you're going to look at Juneteenth completely different. Juneteenth is not an African holiday. It is an American holiday. It is the day that enslaved people in Galveston, Texas, found out they were free right here on this soil in this country. And Juneteenth became an official United States federal holiday in June of 2021. So Juneteenth actually has its own flag, and most people have never seen it. It's red, white, and blue with a star in the center and a burst around it. The star has a dual meaning. One, it represents Texas, the Lone Star State, and it also represents the freedom of foundational Black Americans across all 50 states. And the burst around it represents a new beginning, the birth of a new day, and a fresh start for newly freed people. The same colors as the American flag, because the message is clear. Our freedom is American history, not borrowed from somewhere else. A foundational Black American who is a community organizer and activist named Ben Haith designed the flag in 1997 because he believed that Juneteenth deserved a symbol that told the truth about what the holiday actually is. This Juneteenth, don't let corporate America tell you how to represent our foundational Black American holiday. And let me know in the comments, did you know this already? Juneteenth is coming up, but there's a big problem because most people think Juneteenth colors are red, black, and green.
Yeah, and it is a Black American holiday. It is a celebration of what Black Americans' journey was in slavery and to journey from slavery to freedom. And I really hate when people try to commercialize it and make it like it's some sort of African holiday and all these things and stuff like that. I really don't mind the red, black, yellow, and green. I really don't mind that, but I do love the red, white, and blue because we are Americans. Despite how painful America has been to us. And let me tell y'all something about this too. Y'all think some of y'all hate, y'all be going off about the America this, America that. But check what happened to the Black American people that did go back to Africa. Find out the history of Liberia. Okay. They've been having all kinds of civil war, all kinds of stuff since then. So it wasn't a pretty thing. We really are a people who were betrayed, and we came here under these people who were slave owners, who I believe were sociopaths and psychopaths, and Black people were able to survive and create what truly is American about America. I heard Tucker Carlson say this. He said Black Americans really are heritage Americans. If anybody is, it's them. I was like, what? Tucker, you know what? You're right. It's true. Everybody came here with cultures in place, not us. We had to create one. I don't try to run from that. I ain't trying to run to Africa. Africa actually betrayed Black people. Okay, Black African at the Black, it betrayed the diaspora. All of us are spread out. It betrayed us. Okay, that doesn't mean we don't love Africans and you don't love Africa. But that's not my continent. And nobody asked Haiti to do that. Nobody asked Haitians to be African. Nobody asked Jamaicans to be African. Everybody only do that to us. Okay, and that's because we've allowed that stuff happen. Because we the ones that was always reaching out. Trying to get them, and we wasn't really understanding the tea. Okay, that they are all different groups. So they really like, they got names for us, cicadas and all that kind. It's just crazy. Okay, so we just lost people, all that. So what do we do? Okay, So we have to embrace the group, the country, the culture we made. And I love that red, white, and blue. This is our, if anybody deserves to wear red, white, and blue, and any holiday deserves to be shrouded in red, white, and blue, it's Juneteenth, baby. If any, ain't no other group done more for America. Even though we was kidnapped and held hostage, our ancestors was kidnapped and held hostage, but for 260 free labor. Then another 100 years of Jim Crow. While you went around the world ringing the freedom bell and you was treating black people with, we are the American consciousness and culture. Not only we the culture, but we the American consciousness. We are a reminder of what America can be when it's in its worst state. Not that we are the bad things, but what you can be by holding the people prisoner, kidnapping, making them forced labor and all that while claiming to be free. We are the stain. That's why a lot of people hate us, because we the consciousness of it. We remind you that, hey, we don't want to ever go back there. What our country, that's why a lot of white people be getting upset. Like I heard they be getting mad about this because they don't want to, it's a stain on that Constitution. But that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be to humble you and remind you to never let that happen again. And to treat these people, these true Americans, these true patriots, with respect and not with disdain. No way would America not be a superpower without 260 years of free labor. So when you come over from other countries and you trying to hate on black people and you Asian people, and which I'm getting ready to talk about in a minute, some Asian guy on there talking about you can't do that with that. The lack of respect that you have for the culture that is create. You're supposed to honor that group of people. Happy Juneteenth, y'all. Now, I saw the Asian dude. I really don't want to give it too much because I think it's way deeper than the Asian dude talking whatever he said. Listen, black people, I hear y'all shutting down. Y'all been shutting down Asian things all around the country. But let me explain something to y'all that is something that I think that we don't really, really understand. Okay, we really don't understand about how can I put it? Let me see if I can have pull it out. Okay, but yeah, so the guy, he was on the internet, this Asian guy, I thought I had the clip, but he was on the internet talking about how you can't do anything without Asians. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube here. Yeah. Um, see if I can find it. If somebody has it. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find it where y'all can see one of these. Okay. Okay. Here's somebody that has some of it. I'm gonna play a little bit of. I can't find the actual video with just him talking, y'all. So I was trying to find one. Uh, with the Asian guy saying this. Let me see. Okay. Well, I can't find the video, the actual video, but let me just say he was basically telling Black Americans that they can't do anything without Asians. You couldn't wear your Nikes, you couldn't wear this and that, you couldn't do this and that, you can do that, blah, 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 because Asians make everything blah, 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 blah. Now, we are the culture, Asians, let me just say this. What you've done, because you're in all in our community, you're selling our hair products, you're selling fried chicken now. I even see Asians selling fried chicken. Listen, I don't listen. This is not things that are these are Black American things that the Black American culture created, and what a lot of Asian businesses came over and did with subsidies and everything, started catering to our community with things we've already created. Okay. Not only, and in some ways, I'm going to say something that's going to hurt us, even if we shut down these businesses. And I'm good for y'all doing this, but I'm trying to tell y'all, here's a deeper issue. This is because we've been lazy politically. And this is why I think people like Yvette Carnell and people like that and Tatone and stuff have been trying to tell us. These people get not only subsidies to run these things that we don't get, but also they have gotten so big that they they distribute the products. So you can shut their stores down, but they steal the products you put on your hair, even your natural hair. A lot of Black American people do not. I think it's only 2 Black American companies that own those hair products now. Everybody's bought these other companies out. Asians are starting to produce Black American hair products. This is how deep it's gotten, y'all. This is the deep stuff, y'all. Y'all been so worried about kind of surface shit that y'all ain't really saw the real shit. And this is why I said this would have been a great time, even if you ain't got like Trump. But you could have walked up in there and let Trump know this is not American made, because Trump is not really for that shit. A lot of this shit, like that's not American made and stuff like that. You Black Americans could have made a case, but because these Democrats been telling y'all don't talk to nobody, don't even your enemies, or even people that you may not necessarily like, they putting you in a box and you ain't able to go in there and advocate for the community, no matter what he say, and even come out against him if he say the wrong thing. You ain't politics. You ain't doing real life politics no more. And if people try to do real life politics, you accuse them of being said. Can't nobody even talk to Trump. They can't even go to nothing because y'all gonna say, yeah, hang around Trump. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Listen, all politicians, all the white Democrats definitely go talk to Trump. They can't. He's the president. The fuck y'all talking about? You too fucking emotional. This is why we in this situation. This is why these Asians is running and distributing Black hair care products, because you have sit on your ass for years and not listen to people who are politically astute and understand these things. This is happening behind our thing. Why you got to ask, how are they able to get that stronghold? Now, a lot of us couldn't get these businesses and stuff. The people who have, like I always hear Yvette Carnell say, the real justice claim, can't even get These people coming over here and being able to open up business in the community, sell you your creation. Build wealth for their families that last generations. Be able to sell you your creation of products for your head. We even created weeds. Black American women created that. Selling us, we can't even have a... Why? Because politically we don't understand the deep shit. We only understand the surface shit. Oh God, it's so sad. So yes, in some ways, if we don't get politically more smart and start advocating for ourselves and Black entrepreneurship, no matter who's in office, stop being so emotional. Races are a part of the American landscape. Races are a part of the world landscape, the earth landscape, but particularly the American landscape. You would think by now we know how to deal with these motherfuckers. But we don't. We still get emotional. I still got people who went to college, grown ass people that just hate Trump to the point they can't even go have a conversation about understanding that power has to communicate. You know how many racist presidents has been that Black people had to go in the room and advocate for themselves, even if they didn't get what they still was advocating. Y'all just be out here talking to smoke. That's why a lot of these new politicians and stuff y'all got don't work. Because the Democrats done ran them and messed them up. Like Jasmine Crockett just fell out. Where's she at? She could have been advocating to him. Y'all. It's like somebody asked me the other day, said, would you show up at the 250th anniversary of American thing that Trump is giving? I said, well, I don't see that as Trump giving it. I see that as the 250th celebration of American history, of July the 4th, of America becoming a republic. Trump just happens to be the president, but has a just because I would go to that celebration doesn't mean, even if I do politically support it doesn't mean that I do. It means that my people are a part of this historic moment. My people are the reason for this historic moment. My people fought in every war, even being enslaved. You think we ain't a part of the landscape of America? I don't give a fuck who the fuck in there. Ain't nobody gonna keep me from the celebration. And it should be that way. But they have put this stuff in your mind that you be like, well, I ain't going up in there because Trump up in there. And you won't let any other celebrities. And don't say nothing about their politics because they going to sing for the celebration. Fuck y'all doing? Y'all so crazy. And that's the little shit y'all be fighting. Jay-Z at the Target. Oh God, I don't get time. I really don't. I feel like it's a lost cause, and I don't really think it's most Black America. I think most Black America, a lot of us. I think about I'm gonna tell the truth. I think about 30 to 40% of us get it, and then there's a percentage that don't. But I do understand that sometimes you have to go in and deal with. You have to sit down at the table with your enemy. Trump and Iran got to sit down together. You think you ain't got to sit down with Trump? Israel got to sit down sometimes at the table with Iran. Even if the fuck they want to blow them the fuck up, they got to, because what? They have to communicate to see if they can come to some sort of agreement so they won't blow the damn world up. So why you think you supposed to stay? Child, I'm tired. I can't really. I don't really want to go through that because Black people just this is why we are where we at, and we struggling right now because we trying to come out of that. We're trying to help y'all come out of that, okay? Okay, I saw this thing about a girl going to Dubai. I'm gonna have to play that in another show. I can't really. I don't know if I got the strength to talk about what what she went through. We'll talk about it in another show. Mhm. Okay, y'all. Okay, Daphne Joy has been out here all over the internet. Okay, even the DJ Academics was out there acting thirsty as hell. I don't understand how another black man, well, DJ Academics, what's his background in Jamaica? I don't understand how any black man. She's a beautiful girl, but seeing what happened to Diddy, I don't know how any of y'all could think that shit. Y'all, it seemed like the fuck y'all be like having alerts out on her ass. Like, watch her ass. If it was a black woman, y'all be shunning her. It's crazy to me that y'all was up here lusting after this chick who had a man almost his career ruined. Not that he didn't do anything to help ruin it. But this mofo, and y'all should, I listened to the transcripts. I read the transcripts and listened to them every day. And y'all heard how she acted on that stand and what all she did. Y'all would be horrified. Allegedly, I'm putting allegedly because she's supposed to be a Jane Doe, but allegedly. But all you men do is sitting up here lusting after her ass. That's my black men. We gotta get it together. You gotta get it together. Come on, you can't be the likes of Daphne. And she done let this fake state live.
Advantage of this sex tape moment. Now, it's been a few days since this leak, and our attention span is usually only like 24 to 48 hours.
And this is from the
now, this
Drink.
leak has really raised her profile. Before, kind of, we referred to her as 50s baby mama. Some people referred to her as Diddy's ex or his side chick. But now she kind of has her own identity, and we're really paying attention to her. And a lot of it is hate, right? There are some fans, clearly. But we are now paying more attention to Daphne Joy. Her Instagram page is now more popping. Apparently, she is on OnlyFans. She's been on OnlyFans. But before this story, before this leak, a lot of us didn't even know she was on OnlyFans. I never hear the girl talk.
And here's the thing. What the trial, it showed the jury was right. The jury convicted Diddy of messing around with hoes. Now, Diddy almost got himself a RICO charge because of these mofos. Now, I don't think you black men understand what went down here. She was the other half. Now, Cassie, we understand, was getting physically abused. I kind of get why Cassie was angry and stuff like that. I definitely get that. Even though Cassie put herself in some situations and stuff she needs to take responsibility for, but don't give no man the right to hit you. But at the same time, she was in that shit. Okay. You got to hear the cry. Don't talk about me being against women. I'm not against women. I listen to the trial. I listen to the case. Okay. But at least Cassie got some shame about her. So Cassie's like, shit, you know what I'm saying? Cassie got paid. Okay. This girl, no shame. Okay. This girl was sitting up on the stand, allegedly, because she ain't really said she's a Jane Doe, but you might all know she is. Sitting up on this stand, testifying against this man, acting kind of a fool on the stand to me. Testify why this man was paying her mortgage for $10,000 a month. About to give this man a RICO charge. Negroes, that's some dangerous coochie that you DJ Academics, you don't want no part of that Rico coochie. That coochie would have got Diddy Rico. That coochie almost got Diddy Rico. Okay, y'all better quit playing out here. Quit being lusting over some women out here. They may not be a witch per se, but they operating in witchcraft. You can't handle that, DJ Academics. This is a girl that was testifying. I don't know y'all the audacity of all that. She testified against this man, about to get this man a fucking RICO charge. You should hear the whole testimony, what she really did to this man. Really, it sounded like she was trying to get some money out of him, allegedly. That's my personal opinion, listening to the case and what happened in this situation when he hit her. She kind of provoked him, in my opinion. She came in here hitting on this kind of wild shit. You had to read the transcripts of her testimony. Okay, I ain't gonna tell no more. Y'all read the transcripts of her testimony. Y'all gonna be like, what? Because a lot of y'all get on these internets and be talking about and read the transcript. No, this motherfucker, Cassie had more of a case. This motherfucker had no case. Now, Cassie really didn't have no RICO. Cassie was she had a domestic violence, but it wasn't about domestic violence, okay? This chick, I don't know. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen, you do not, that coochie right there was getting, Cassie got paid off. But listen, this chick was getting her rent paid while she was testifying against a Negro, giving her RICO, trying to get him RICO charges. I'm trying to. Y'all don't want that smoke, okay? You don't want none of that smoke. You don't want none of that smoke. I even saw Lil Duval talking about, she come to the gym, like, black men, quit looking so desperate. No, it's another black man. His whole career got fucked. If this was a black woman, y'all be dogging her all day. This is a black man. Not that he didn't deserve some of the stuff that he did, definitely. But this motherfucker almost ruined she came on here acting ruined. She was already out there doing wild stuff. She ruined almost that man's whole career. And y'all talking about inviting her to resorts and trying to get her to sleep with y'all and all this stuff. What kind of motherfucker? What's y'all crazy? Y'all don't realize what y'all dealing with, do you? Y'all underestimating this chick. You definitely underestimating. You shouldn't underestimate no coochie that can testify against a man and get him trying to get him a RICO charge while he paying her rent $10,000 a month. That's some shit right there. That's some coochie you don't know nothing about. That's some coochie. That's some deep wild shit. Unless you a crazy ass mofo, that's some witchcraft coochie. You better. I'm telling you, I ain't gonna say nothing else. Do what y'all feel, okay? Okay, keep lusting and thirsting, okay? Lusting and thirsting after this shit. Sitting there bringing her in black blogs, putting her all up there on there, need to think. Just absolutely crazy. Tell me y'all don't know y'all be dealing with witches brew. Okay? Okay, I'm going to end the show today with this conversation. And then I'll do a part 2 later on, y'all. But I thought this was funny. This 2 women were talking on the Heather McDonald's podcast about cheating with purpose. Hilarious. Okay, so check this out.
Who? Martha Stewart. Great.
Oh, I would love it.
She can cook for the kids.
I would love it.
She lives near country clubs.
Absolutely.
Private jet. Like,
Yep.
Please find someone super rich.
Yeah.
Versus like some dumb hoe that brings nothing to the table except new tiny babies.
It's true. Yeah, I know. I'm like, if my ex got together with like a successful older woman, I would just be like, that is so cool. And I really root for you guys.
I feel like that's like why like Lauren Sanchez.
Yeah.
benzo thing worked out with her ex, who was like the agent at William Morris, whatever.
Right.
Is because she married someone so extraordinarily rich.
Yep.
Even though there was cheating going on,
Yep.
the four of them were dining together and she was sneaking off to his cabin, whatever. It all worked out because in the end, he's like with some hot Australian. And it's like, if you're going to cheat with someone, don't have it be the pool boy.
Right.
Don't have it be with some grifter that you met
Right.
online.
Right.
Like have it be with someone that's going to like elevate our kids'
level
lives.
up. Yeah.
Our kids can work there. Our kids can, go on these incredible trips.
Right.
And meet these incredible
cheat with
people.
Purpose.
Absolutely.
Is the message.
That is,
cheat with intention.
that is the new Mel Robbins book. That is, don't you try to steal it, Mel. Don't.
Cheat with intention.
If you're going to cheat, you're going to cheat
that's
with
a really
intention. See the future. Think about it. Get out of bed and say, if I'm going to spread my legs, what is the purpose? The purpose is to elevate not just your legs, but your whole being and that of those surrounding you. It's that simple, people. That's good.
That's really good.
I would rather have my ex be like, you know who Peter's dating? Who?
White women are hilarious. Let me tell you something. One thing about I say with not all white women, but some when you friends with white women be straight up about that. They about that. They about that life. Love is love, but they about that life. They are cheat with intention. We as black women, we be getting emotional and be out because we be really they do not operate necessarily. That's why I always laugh at black men. White women are really most white women, they very intentional in everything. The ones I've met have been very intentional in what they do. They have emotion, but they don't. Like this conversation is a conversation that is hilarious. Like cheat with intention, little girls. If you're gonna cheat with somebody. Me and my friends have also had this conversation. Okay, cheat if you gonna be out in these streets. I see this on the ID channel all the time. I see a dum-dum give up her man who got benefits, got her a nice house, got her a nice car, and here comes some bum she knew back in high school coming out of jail. He been in jail 50 years. I'm like, yeah, girl, what's up? And trying to mess with her and everything. She filed for him, getting dickmatized by a jailbird. And then suddenly they come up with a plot to kill the husband that got the money. The fuck? That's dumb. I see it all the time on the ID channel. I be like, what the? First of all, it's unattractive. You asking me about some other man's pocketbook. How you can't steal me with no money? You shouldn't even be asking somebody to go to jail for you. Listen, women, when a man come out fresh out of jail, listen, let me tell you something, girls, okay? I like this what these women are saying, cheat, and they saying to your partners, if you're going to cheat on me, cheat with intention. I agree. Listen, ladies, you cheat with somebody going to help you pay their spousal support. You know what I'm saying? Listen, child support. You get what I'm saying? Like these, but listen here we go. Listen, me, ladies, if a man is fresh out of the jailhouse and he coming to you about your bread and butter, trying to get you to off somebody, he got a boyfriend in jail. He trying to go back. He really is. There's a lot of these people out here that really don't know how to function in the real world, and they got people they love back on the yard, in the cell they done left, and they ain't used to life out in the outside. Really, and they trying to take you with them because they really don't like you like that. They really just like, this some dumb hoe I can use right out here. I can destiny swap or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I get my ass back to jail and drag her ass with me. No, that's what's happening. Okay, these men don't care like you. No man will come and ask you to go to jail, do something to make you go to jail. He'll be like, baby, you know what? I got it all going on. You ain't gotta have that. You come on where you. And same thing, fellas, if you're gonna cheat out here, why give it your family and your kid? Because you know you're gonna have to pay that child support. You know you're gonna have to pay spousal support. You know a woman gonna make you pay for fucking for leaving her life in the middle in the middle, especially she's like 45 and 50, and you come with some other young time, man, I got a younger girl, I'm ready to go. Dumb shit. That's dumb. Do not do so. Get somebody that's gonna help you pay them child support payments, because she coming for you for child support. Get somebody like gonna help you level up or something like that, so you can don't get with no dumb little young secretary or somebody you done found in these streets. Are you stupid? Like, right. Cheat with intention. That goes for both sides. Don't cheat, but if you go do it, if you go wreck up your damn life, cheat with intention. Cheat with elevation purposes. I'm out of here. This is it. This show is, I don't know, I'm gonna probably get rich. Somebody go, right. I just said, would you rather your man leave you for the hoe down the street that ain't got no money, or would you rather him leave you for Beyonce? I'd be like, bitch, you got Beyonce? Well, so how do you do that? Let's go help you with the spousal support. Baby, do what you got. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna cry a little bit. I'm gonna cry, be upset. I'm gonna be hurt. But that spousal support, nah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be sad. But listen, it make me feel better that it ain't the hoe down the street. I'd be like, damn, this motherfucker left me for Beyonce. Shit, that's gonna be a good ass story. You're gonna be bitch, I see. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that's Beyonce, bitch. All right, yeah. Yes, Jimmy, everybody can't fight Beyonce. Shit. And it's a good story if he stay with you and leave you, and then go with Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? It's a good story. Bitch, he wasn't gonna leave. He want me over Beyonce. It's a good story. It's a good story either way. But don't leave for Money Mike in jail. Money Mike ain't got no money. Never. Desperado jailbird. Y'all serious? I'm with her. I'm with these women. Cheat with intention. Cheat with intention. If you come home and say, I'm leaving for Taraji, I'd be like, damn, it hurts, stings a little, but it's Taraji. She definitely can help with the spousal support. Shit. Okay? I'm with these women. I loved it. The real conversations that go on with women. Y'all think women, I always laugh. People think women have the most craziest conversations because women are really so multi-layered. It's so wild. It's just, hey, America just won. Okay. But I love this conversation between them. That's the Heather McDonald. It was very funny. Cheat with intention. Okay. Leave that today. Don't cheat it out. But if you go out in these streets and mess your life up, like make people go, damn, well, you know what? I understand that. I mean, I understand. Okay. I said, it's a lot of temptation. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody saying, like, if I left for Denzel today, my friends be like, shit, that ain't right. But it's Denzel, girl, you always, Denzel Washington out in the streets. It's Lenny Kravitz. Oh, it won't make it. The pain will be there. It still will be in pain. It'll be still horrible, but it's a straight story to tell us. Lenny Kravitz. Man, man, shit, you had no chance with Lenny. See, your boys ain't gonna even hold that against you. Lenny Kravitz, they're gonna be like, fuck, that's Lenny Kravitz. Man, shit, what you got the shit? He took a burden off your ass. This was a hilarious conversation, okay? I found them hilarious. Cheat with intention. You guys, that's it for the Carlotta Chatwood Show. Remember, you can hit me up on the Carlotta Chatwood Facebook page. You can also hit me up on Carly's_Galaxy on Instagram. That's Carly's with an S _Galaxy on Instagram. You can hit me up in the DMs, tell me what you liked about the show, even on Facebook and all that stuff. And my X feed, when I do go on there, it is Carlotta Carlotta 72 and C Chatwood Show. It is 2 different handles. Okay, C Chatwood Show and Carlotta 72. Then TikTok is Keisha Carlotta. And for threads, there should be a link on Instagram that leads you to my threads. Okay, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. If I don't do another show, I'll probably do another show in a couple of days from now. I don't know. We'll see. Because I got to catch up on stories that I wanted to tell y'all. So we'll try to do another show. Okay. But I am out. You guys have a wonderful, enjoy your week. If I don't do a show, soon. Okay. Hold on, you guys. Okay, we're getting it together. Okay, you guys. So I am out. Have a good one, and I will see y'all. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoy the show.